So you can bring it in.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome here to finals day at the Siargao International Surfing Cup. We've got pretty dreamy conditions. Semi-final number one. We're going to kick off with the women's. It's Sky Brown in the red taking on Nilby Blancata, the defending champion. I'm joined alongside by Mark Clift. Good morning, mate.
Yo, what a day, Juddo. Day 7 of our waiting period, everybody. It's not a big day. We have 6 heats coming at us, so we are making the most of a pretty good tide here this morning. We did. We got out there and had a little frolic around this morning.
First one's in the water.
Just being hard workers, a bit of research made, and it looked pretty good out there, and got a couple of nice ones, so yeah.
Well, I'm excited, and yeah, the ladies are in the water. We're going to do 2 women's semi-finals, the men's semi-finals, then the women's final, and we'll wrap it all up with the men's final. So not a big day, but a very exciting day of competition coming up.
30-minute matchups for the semi-finals. We'll ramp the finals up by 5 minutes, everybody. So, yep, not a long day like you're saying, Justin. So for all the crew online, I reckon really stick around and let's pay homage to our finalists here, because this is how they got into the position they are. Sky Brown beat Sarah Wakita in our first quarterfinal yesterday morning. Nilby, the defending champion, surfed a really smart heat and a convincing win there over Mirai Akita. And then Anon Matsuoka took care of Samomo Sato in quarter 3, and Kana took down True Starling.
Yep, so there is the boardwalk. It's not too busy. It was Halloween last night, so maybe a couple of people, monsters still getting out of their coffins.
Might still be feeling a little devilish. A few ghouls still getting around.
But there you see the ladies in the water. We are approaching a start. This is going to be an exciting matchup. The defending champion taking on a future superstar of our sport. She's a superstar in skateboarding already, Sky Brown. And there it is. We are underway. Lock in. It's going to be a really fun day. The winds are nice and clean. We've come off the low tide. The tide will be pushing in all day long. High tide on my watch is around about 9:30. And
I think it does its best work as it starts dropping as well. So that should coincide perfectly with our finals. So here we go, Nilby just assessing conditions, right to first wave now. You can see the waves look like they've got a little bit of height about them today. A little bit of a ramp up maybe in the swell size, and Nilby just getting one cut back in so far, another little slash in the pocket. So the judges will probably take their time with the first few numbers, I'm thinking, just to really set the scale here on finals day. They want the absolute best surfing to be rewarded with the victory here today, so they'll be having a good crunch of the numbers and might even just sit on that one for a little while.
yeah, I reckon you're right, Mark. You know, they want to set the morning scale. They want to see what the waves are doing, but definitely a couple of bigger lumps out there early this morning, and these winds should stay light.
So there we go, just a 2-5. So the judging panel have been consistent whole week. They're really demanding high-level surfing to extract any sort of a keeper score. So just a little feel-out wave there for Nilby.
Well, we're going to throw down to True Starling and Ty Sarati for a bit of a morning update.
Justin, I'm here with Ty Sarati and Ty. We're here for finals day. What have we got in store?
Morning, True. Yeah, finals day. The waves are kind of a little bit smaller than yesterday, but still look really fun. We're starting with the women's semi-finals and then the men's semi-finals, and then finish off with the finals later this morning.
Will we see all 30-minute heats, or will finals be extended for a little bit?
We're going to do 30 minutes for the semi-finals and then 35s for the finals.
And in regards to conditions, will we see it start to improve for the finals, or will this wind stay back a little bit?
Hoping the wind stays nice and light. High tide's about 7:30, so the tide will start draining out and hopefully see some barrels later for the finals.
Awesome. Well, you guys heard it first here with Ty Sarati. I'll throw it back to you guys in the booth.
Thanks very much, True. We're going to get True in here with us shortly as well. So being finals day, we're going to try and keep 3 announcers on at all times. I think we're going to be hearing from Ty Sarati in the next semi-final, the women's semi-final in here, doing some comm duties. Pretty sure John Carby's going to come in and have a little play around with us during Heat 3. And I think we have Noah Arkfeld, the young Grom, who lives just over the hill, a local flavour, is going to come in for men's semi-final number 2. Jess Starling, you're probably listening, Jess. A little bit crook this morning, team. That's why we're down one announcer. So we send our hugs and kisses over to you, Jess, and we hope you get better quickly.
Yeah, unfortunate for Jess. Maybe a little bit too much sun. It's definitely warm over here in the Philippines. We're on one of the eastern islands, and yeah, conditions, as soon as that sun pops up, we had a bit of rain overnight. It definitely gets a little bit steamy in the morning. And this is the opening ride of finals day. This is the defending champion, Nilby Blancada, just dodging our water photographer there. A 2.50 locked in for that one. So bit of lateral surfing, nothing of great consequence, but I think Nilby was just getting some wax between the toes and setting herself up for what is going to be an exciting matchup up against Sky Brown, who is a really exciting prospect for the future of surfing here in the Asia region. And
during our little free surf this morning, Juddo, it was nice to see John Mark Tokong out there just warming up for finals day. He's been here and done that pretty much every finals day for the last probably 5 to 10 years. He's been a big front runner. He's in the mix again. He was having a bit of a free surf. Didn't ride too many waves, but he got the absolute best ones. And I think he finished with a sizzling tube ride. And anyone he said, that'll do. Feet already. Let's go.
I love his energy. He was calling everyone into waves. He was going, you going? Am I going? You going? But yeah, he definitely knows the ones to pick out there, and called you into a couple mark as well.
It was pretty funny because one of the older boys wanted this last wave off him. It was a real good one, but old mate could just see it was going to barrel. He went, no, I'll just have this. Thank you very much. Nilby, second wave. Kind of dissecting the top off that one and losing power really quickly. So another low throwaway score for Nilby. Sky, very interesting, to see this young lady take shape as a surfer now, Justin, off the skateboard for a good part of this year. She came to Cruy and liked competing there. So here she goes on a backhand.
Yeah, good looking wave. Nice bottom turn, slaps it up through the lip and trying to stick with this one through to the inside. Back out onto a bit of a frothy face, but Sky will now join Nilby on the scoreboard. And Mark, I've seen a real change in Nilby's approach. She's had a couple of clutch moments. Probably was a little bit too patient in a couple of rounds previously, but I think her intent has changed. She looks like she wants to catch waves.
She's been here before, mate. She is the defending champion, so this is wave number 2. Judges still yet to throw a number at that. I think Sky might have the slightly better number because here is the replay of young Sky Brown on a backhand. And Justin, you had a good chat with her the other day. So I believe a bronze medalist at the Olympics, is that right?
No, she's qualified for the Olympics. She's a 2-time X Games gold medalist. Okay. And yeah, I think that's maybe now why she's focusing a little bit on the surfing, simply because she knows that she is going to be at the Olympic Games, Paris 2024. And it's so cool to see both skateboarding and surfing as one of the newer sports being included. So, your traditional athletics and all the other things we love about the Olympics, it's great to see new sports such as skateboarding and surfing featuring. The score for Sky Brown has locked in a 4.0, so she throws down the best number so far. A 2.8 has locked in for Nilby. She is leading and does have first priority. True Starling, that was a quick little run back across the boardwalk. Not too many people blocking your path this morning?
No, not this morning. I think everyone's slowly starting to filter on in now, but I was, trying to beat the traffic, that's for sure.
It's pretty hectic out there, doesn't it, people? It's just the stairway to selfiedom, really. Everybody that walks out there has got to get the selfie out, and they stop, and boyfriend taking girlfriend pics, and it's just such a crazy little scene, and people get out there and just fake out and just do their own thing, and it can take quite a while to get out to the tower on a Sunday like the other day. That was hectic.
Yeah, that was full on, but it's not too crowded this morning. I think everyone's already packed into the athletes area. I saw Jerry let a couple of people in this morning saying, you've been here all event, we'll give you VIP today, which is really cool.
Oh, nice.
Finals day special treatment.
So Jerry's dropped the grumpy pants and decided to be Mr. Nice. No, he's good value, Jerry, our contest director, Jerry Deegan. May get to hear from him later on today. We'll see how it goes. We've only got 6 heats to roll through. So at this stage, the best number is for Sky. That backhand attack, at least you got to go up and down a couple of times, Justin. So a 4-point ride. The judges are definitely demanding a bit more out of our finalists today. They, probably would really want to see tube rides straight off the takeoff or airs on the first section. Seems to be a theme for getting big numbers or just some good old-fashioned, really gnarly rail work is what they're demanding. So here we go, Jess. True. Anyway.
Same but different.
Yeah, same but different. So pity about your sister. We gave her a little shout-out before. We hope you're feeling a little better throughout the day. Jessie, meanwhile, Nilby.
Yeah, she gets a little bit caught behind in this one, but gets around it nicely. Nice turn there for Nilby as she brings it around. She's looking really fired up. Saw her get a couple of waves at the start while I was having a chat with Ty Sarati just before. But yeah, I was saying yesterday, it feels like Nilby's been a bit of a giant killer in this event. You know, she's a previous winner here, but she's taken out some pretty big names throughout the event so far.
Yep, and when she started a campaign a couple of days ago, I think she got a little wake-up call. She had 2 really shaky heats out of her first 2 rounds and dodged a couple of bullets and went, hang on, I'm better than that.
Yep.
And she's starting to compete better and get off to an early start, Juddo. Do you like this?
Yeah, I did. I think she was just a little bit late. You could see that wave did spit, so she was hunting the tube. It was quite impressive finding a couple of barrels yesterday and a bigger wave, probably one of the biggest waves we've seen ridden this morning. Is she going to improve her situation? It does look like she will, a 4.50, so she extends on first place. Requirement now for Sky Brown is a 3.31. And you can see the athlete area here. People just trying to find a little bit of shade. And
Sky Brown's dad right there, Big Stu. Meanwhile, the youngster throwing her backhand straight up into the lip, just connecting some dots here on the inside. Her second wave right there, Sky Brown. There's the old man. He's pretty happy with things. That's the Sky clan. Yep. You can see Harry Radcliffe in the background there. So here, what I was saying earlier, Justin, first time I've ever seen Sky Brown surf was this year at Cruy, and she put on a pretty good performance. I think her very first heat, she got like an 8.5 or something for one crazy attack on her left. She loved Indonesia so much, she hung around, went to our other events and spent a lot of time in Bali with Rizal and his clan.
Cool.
And just soaked it up, and here she is again at another Asian event. So she got a taste of the surfing rash vest on, and you know, she's a competitive beast, being a gnarly skateboarder. So she likes what she feels when she pulls the rashie on. She went, I think I better hang around and do this again. So you're most welcome.
100%. She's taken the lead on the strength of a 5.0. So here's the replay, True. Talk us through it.
Yeah, really nice first connection for Sky. I think that's where a bulk of the scores would have come from. A couple of, you know, smaller little cutbacks to kick out of that one. But, yeah, solid connection to start that wave off, which is, as I said, where I think, you know, a bulk of that 5 points came from. I liked it. She's got a really solid backside attack. She's super committed as well. You know, like you said, Mark, she's a competitive beast. She knows, you know, what she wants. She knows what she needs to do to get good scores, and she executes really well.
And used to operating under pressure. So, good things in our very first matchup of the day. No blockbuster numbers. It's still pretty close. Just less than 2 points separating these two at the moment. 30-minute matchups. That's about 12 off the clock.
Here goes Nilby.
Oh, great looking wave, Justin. Geez, that thing was just bowling top to bottom. That was a little bit of a weird finish. But the wave itself looked really good. And when they're out there, we know we're in for a good day.
Yeah, well, she's got the home ground advantage is Nilby in the blue rash vest. So that did look like a really good wave. Unfortunately, didn't really get as deep or as covered up as she possibly could have, and sort of fumbled on the wraparound, but she probably knew that she'd missed the best scoring section of that wave. So she's not going to improve. Still chasing a 4.51 or better if she's going to have the opportunity to defend her title here at Cloud 9. An amazing place, really fun, and you know, good waves. It's been a little bit weird with the tide. We've had these sort of pretty big breaks during the middle of the day, but the days have felt long, even though we haven't done that many heats.
Yep, no, good breakdown. So on the hunt now is Sky. She's in the lead. There goes that attacking backhand blast. Fins out the back. Big hit. Lots of spray. So really nice timing here, winding up. If she finishes this, I can see her better number. But either way, I think the judges are still going to, be impressed with that first hit. That was a little point of difference. It was pretty sick. So well done, Sky. I'm sure this number is going to help her two-wave situation and extend the lead a smidge.
I think regardless of that fall, I feel like that's going to be a pretty good number because that was a solid first connection.
Calling 7, is that a 7 maybe?
Oh, well, the boys are. The hands up with the 2 in front of it, so I'm not sure.
Yep.
But either way, I think the judges are really going to just sort of, start to send that message that they want to see the hits done early, out the back on that first section. This wave, Justin, we saw it yesterday with a lot of the tube rides that went down. This wave is clearly kind of all about your takeoff, where you take off. And you saw the wave that Nilby had she committed and gone a little deeper, the tube was definitely there. It's just she wasn't able to slow down. Once you're in, if you get in too early, you kind of miss that option.
Yeah, well, the number is in a 7.75. So here's the replay. Hard off the bottom, and that's like a backhand lip slide on a skateboard.
Yeah, she's skateboarding around out there this morning. Finals day.
Ditched the fins out on that first turn. That was really quite progressive and clear message getting sent from the judges. So.
Well, that young man in the chair there with the 5 and the 2 in front of it, he could just about earn himself a spot next door. Good work. Here she goes again. Late takeoff. So in rhythm now, full of confidence this wave, not giving her much there, so you can see by the body language, out she goes. But that will really fire Sky up now. It might even just be enough to rattle Nilby into her best performance because she's going to need it. What does she need now? Ty? True. Ty, true.
And 8.25 Nilby needs, but I feel like, she's a local out here. If she can get one of those deep barrels and come out, she'll be knocking on the door of that 8.25. She's looking really solid, has been all event, but that 7.75 of Sky Brown was pretty impressive. That first turn was like, it
golden.
It was solid.
So she's picking good waves. She's coming around the corner off a bottom turn nice and deep, setting herself up to get that little vertical attack going on right in the pocket, which is obviously a part of the criteria, that critical section, degree of difficulty, all those sort of things. It also helps give you a good burst of speed and flow. So she's kind of ticking decent parts of the criteria with room to move and improve on what she's already done.
Sky's never made a semi-final before either, so her first semi-final berth is looking pretty solid.
Significant, isn't it?
This is the drone angle of that 7.75. That turn was just so solid. Gets pretty much a quarter of her board, maybe even more, out off the back of that wave. And even without that finish, it was such an impressive wave for Sky Brown. I was a huge fan of it. And to have a first semi-final berth here in Siargao is pretty special. And she's looking good to get herself a spot in the final. If the heat was to finish right now, though, there's 14 minutes to go, and Nilby needs an 8.25, which I just feel like isn't out of the question.
Certainly not. Just tick past the halfway stage, and she's keeping busy, so looking to improve on a 5. Up and into that section, free falls down with the lip. Perfect timing and positioning, and that was a really difficult section to deal with, and she did it with ease. And Sky Brown, I think she's feeling the rhythm. She's got a bit of mojo going.
Yep, there's the clan there.
Oh, hang on.
8.
They're calling 8s.
They're calling 8s now.
Let's see.
Well, the boys are a little bit excited in there, and it might turn out to be something like another really big score. But really good connection with the lip again, Sky. She's riding a magic carpet right there. She loves that board. Every time we've had a beach interview with her, Justin, she said, it's just my go-to board, has been for a long time. You can see that bit of criticalness there. The judges are going to eat that up, and then straight into another real serious hack. So I can see a definite increase in her total. She might even have Nilby comboed. Dare I say it?
Let's wait and see. But
Yep, 8. Straight away.
There's some judges out there on the tower that aren't in the judging room. No. Well done, boys.
Yep, so they've called it, and that's really good. I like when competitors are in there. They get their head sort of locked in, and they've just heard the score.
Yeah.
Yep.
Teo.
Yep. He needs to be in the room behind them, throwing some numbers. But yeah, as high as an 8.5, as low as a 7, but the average an 8.0. So a really impressive two-wave combination.
Just looking at a whole act, all right, 5 waves ridden. She got better with every ride this morning, apart from that little fumble of the 0.5, but got better with every ride, which is a perfect way to pace yourself throughout a heat. Come finals day, it's an old cliche, true, but you know, you've got to save your best for last.
Yeah.
You can't win the contest on day one. You've just got to do enough to keep advancing and then, you know, step it up on finals day. So Sky starting to really hit her straps here. This is good.
Yeah, she's looking really solid. She's looking, you know, I don't want to say unbeatable because anyone can beat anyone, but I feel like, you know, she's looking like she's fired up and ready for an event win. And I feel like, you know, only 15 years of age, first time in the semi-final. She's put on a great performance so far. I'm looking forward to seeing what the next 11 and a half minutes hold. But Nilby as well, you know, this whole event, she's been looking so solid. I feel like now her game plan is get a set, get barreled, come out. Well, you know, because that's going to get her out of a competition.
She's going to need to do that twice.
She's facing a real test now, so she's got to have to dig deep here and hold her nerve and kind of shut out a bit of the outside noise and just realise 15.75, two-wave total. You know, she's got to basically effectively a pair of 8s. So got to dig deep here, got to be on the absolute best waves. A tube would be handy. We haven't seen a tube yet in this morning's action, so I think she's probably got to take a big risk now, Justin. Next wave, try and take off behind it, straight into a tube, a bit of rail work after that and get herself back in the ball game here. Yeah,
well, she's done it, you know, previously, and, you know, she does have the local support, the knowledge of the reef underneath her feet right now, and yep, she just needs a set to pop up and she's got to have to send it. So pressure is building, but she's performed well under pressure to get to this point of the event. So Nilby, she'll just, you know, be summoning something from out the back and hopefully she gets her opportunity. But I like what Sky's doing, sitting a little bit deeper, applying that little bit of priority pressure. So Sky Brown, a very impressive two-wave total. Here's the replay. This is the 8.0, and
there was just a lot of risk involved in that turn, and you know, and she fell with the lip, but kind of didn't fumble around too much after that. Just regained her composure, quick, smart, and straight into it. So the judges, you know, they see when people are having a red-hot go, and that's where they've been throwing their big numbers. So congratulations, young Sky Brown. I'm sure the whole tower now are just throwing Nilby their mojo. There'd be a lot, there wouldn't be too many Westerners out on the tower. I imagine everybody's got up pretty early to come down and pay a bit of homage to our semi-finalists. We've got John Mark Tokong, the men's defending champ, coming up in men's semi-2. So I imagine the crowds will stick around and you know, throw a whole bunch of noise out Marimar's way when that happens. But all these semi-finals are worthy. It's been quite a long campaign, and I think we've got a really good base of surfers remaining in the draw.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Mark. You know, to get to finals day is an achievement in itself, but you want to be there in the final. You want to see what you can do here. And Sky Brown is keeping busy. Beautiful looking wave. Bottom turn, top turn combination is looking flawless this morning. Just one manoeuvre. Don't know that it'll go into her top 2, but she's just feeling the rhythm of the ocean, and she's connecting the dots really well on her backhand.
Man, this could not be a better warm-up for a finals performance, you know what I mean? Like, she hasn't done a thing wrong.
No.
She's in perfect rhythm. She's taking waves that Nilby's seeing nothing on and turning them into really good numbers. So her surfing, you know, she hasn't even waited around and gone, right, I'll just hunt an A-grade wave. She's just doing this under the guard of Nilby, which is not easy because, you know, she knows the reef better than anybody else. But the quality of the surfing is undeniable, and Sky Brown's connecting with every section. She's looking like she's totally in sync here this morning.
Yeah, she is. And as well, you know, she looked solid on her board. A 5.35 for that last wave. Just a one turn. The judges really liking it. If she got another, she would have been rewarded with another, you know, high score. So she's just applying that pressure to Nilby. Nilby's comboed 15.75 is a pretty solid combination, as you said, Mark. Pretty much 2 8s is what she's going to need.
Yeah, she's got to go nuts.
Yeah.
And something's got to happen soon, you know. She's got to allow herself enough time to do it twice. So Down to 7.5 minutes. We know stuff can happen really quick, smart out here, and Nilby is on the hunt. So this is a good thing. Let's see how this wave pans out. It's just a little too weak and small. Slides under her guard. But yeah, she's got to do something soon just to release a little bit of the pressure valve. She's at least, as we've said before, got to get herself out of combo.
Yep.
But more than that, she needs an 8, I reckon, realistically, to be confident to track down another winning score.
Yeah, well, time is now becoming her enemy, but she has pulled a couple of rabbits out of the hat in this event already. So, but, you know, we've seen Sky Brown just build momentum throughout the heat, and Nilby's sort of in, you know, she started with the first 2 waves of this one, just maybe washing it off, maybe just hitting the reset button, saying a little prayer underwater, just asking for an opportunity to strut her stuff. The defending champion on screen here is in a combination situation, which means she'll need 2 fresh scores, better than 15.75, and you can see maybe just you know, trying to summon something.
Maybe a little frustration there as well. You know, she's probably like, Sky's got both those waves pretty much under my priority. She's been such a ruthless competitor, but...
Oh, she's on here.
Yeah, she's on an answer. Wow.
Well, good morning, everybody. Mark Cliff, True Starling, Justin Majex. Justin, you've had this thing on the table all week. Why don't you tell us what that's all about?
Well, this is the
nice and close.
This is the famous Cloud9 chocolate bar that this break has, you know, earned its name from. Nilby Blancada is up and riding. She's in the tube and just gets crushed. So yeah, it has been sitting here. I'm surprised the ants haven't taken it away or that it's fully melted. But yeah, the story behind this was, you know, the original crew that discovered this wave. You know, there was
Steve Jones, wasn't it?
Yeah,
An Aussie guy?
Yeah, there wasn't much around, so back in town he loaded his pockets and bag up with these chocolate bars, and a few months or years later people discovered a couple of wrappers on the beach, which you don't see much of anymore, but yeah, the Cloud9 Classic pretty much was discovered, and they thought that's a pretty cool name for the break, and that's where it came from. So I might be able to eat that now I've shown it.
Yeah.
We've done a little bit of research on the Chocky bar.
Yeah.
What about you? Have you had one yet?
I have. Yeah, I've had one.
Good, aren't they?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I'm a massive chocolate fan. Any Chocky.
So you would have had a few then. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're definitely pretty good. I was a fan.
Yep. So the wave was discovered in the early 80s. And yeah, it was ever since then. Steve wanted to make sure that the waves and the barrels were consistent, so he stayed out here for about a week. Since there were no paved roads, he had to bring food to survive. One of his suppliers was the Cloud9 chocolate bar. So there you go. Good on you, Steve.
I like the breakdown on the side of the chocolate bar here. It's luscious caramel, crunchy peanuts, soft nougat, wrapped in rich chocolate.
Oh, goodness.
Can't go wrong.
No, not at all. Someone that can't go wrong is Sky Brown. She has really put her best foot forward in semi-final number 1. Nilby had her chance to answer back, pulled into a tube, but didn't find the exit. So a couple of throwaway scores, still chasing.
She's going to need a miracle to turn this around right now.
She's been super selective.
Might have cost her at the end of the day. You know. So the 7 and the 8 that Sky got were both in second priority situations. So you know, she's probably just didn't play the smartest tactical game. She got some good waves early and only turned them into 2s and 3s and 4s. You know, the backhanders, I can see it's a little easy to go tighter on your backhand and hit the lip, you know, square right next to the pocket, and Sky's taken full advantage of that, whereas Nilby, a few out and back, you know, in and out wrap cutbacks have only earned her 4 points, something 4 or 5 as a maximum number.
Yeah.
So she needed to either find a little bit more verticalness. She did have a wave on hindsight, Juddo, that had a really nice barrel going nuts off the takeoff.
Yeah.
But perhaps didn't get behind it enough to utilise the tube, and that perhaps could have put her in a much better spot.
Yes, so she'll be reminiscing, probably, well, she's not out of it yet. A lot can happen at this place. The waves can be pretty consistent, and just with 2 surfers out there, Well, 2.5 minutes is not a lot of time, but it is enough time to get a couple of good numbers under the belt. I think Sky pretty much had the 7.75 and the 8 within 2 or 3 minutes.
Well, she made the most of that little pulse. There was a little moment where the ocean sort of came to life, and Nilby was on, you know, the wrong end of all that. She got her waves early. Sky just clocked them up and got a couple of really good numbers, even a throwaway 5, and even something above 5 points were throwaway numbers that were caught under the guard. So effectively, Sky's found 4 waves, while Nilby's kind of sat there and got a little bit over-selected, maybe.
Yeah, I agree. She looks like she's got to go something if she wants to, you know, break that combination. She needs pretty much a 6. And for Nilby, as you said, Mark, I feel like she's kind of found herself in this position, waiting for so long for waves, and then Sky just building momentum.
And just put that scoreboard pressure on her as well, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you're hearing 7s and 8s, it's like, oh, you know, you kind of start to question a few of your decisions. And, you know, it's not great reading when you hear a 15-7-5 2-wave total is what you need. It's like, oh, damn.
It's a little bit crushing.
And that happened so quick, you know.
Yep.
So she went from a lead, a shaky, dodgy lead, but a lead, into just being comboed in a couple of minutes. A little bit soul-destroying.
Well, just over 1 minute, so she's going to have to roll the dice soon enough, but she is in second priority. So Sky Brown has pretty much surfed the perfect heat. She's now controlling the lineup with first priority, and Nilby has waited a long time for this wave.
There's a tube.
Ducks behind.
All right.
The body language is saying it all. She probably needed to do that 10 minutes ago.
On that set wave she got.
Yeah.
Remember that one? She needed to do exactly that little takeoff performance straight into a little pit, because that was a big, she probably, you know, could have just about got a stand-up tube on that wave she caught earlier. It was had a bit of height to it. It went round as, just needed that earlier in the heat to give her the confidence she needed to take it to Sky here. But it'll still be her best score it's in, is it, Juddo?
Yeah, 4.0, so
nice
still
tube.
in combination, 8.5 2-wave combined total. So
She probably could have surfed herself out of a combination on that wave, maybe at some point. Like if she had, it looked like there was a couple more sections in front of her. Good hard carve into a snap. She could have got a 5 in the 5s, but you know, such a great performance for the whole event for Nilby. She's been looking on fire. But Sky Brown, first final berth.
yeah,
Pretty
Making
insane.
it count. That was sick.
yep. Well, we are going to go to a short break. We'll be right back with semi-final 2 here at the Siargao International Surfing Cup in just 1 moment.
Smart Super Value Deals. Enjoy PowerAll's 8 GB for all apps, plus monthly TikTok.
Or magic data that doesn't expire. Tara! Smart eSIM na!
Smart Super Value Deals.
$17, that's very accurate, mate.
Welcome back to the 27th Siargao International Surfing Cup. It is finals day here. We have the women's semi-final heat number 2 out there. We just saw Sky Brown put on a pretty insane performance, you know, seeing herself in her first ever final. Kana Nakashio is out there, as well as Anon Matsuoka. I'm True Starling, joined in the booth with Mark Clift and WSL event director Ty Sarati. Hello, Ty.
Good morning, True. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Morning, everyone. Here we are. You got anyone you want to give a quick whip out to at home, Ty? Because it might be the last time we see you on the camera today.
Say good day to the office if they're watching.
Yeah, I guess.
And gather there.
That's a good point. Maybe the Surfing WA office are watching as well. For all the crew there. Good morning, gang. Team SWA, 8 o'clock. Might be a few crew lurking around at work.
Team
SWA. SWA, Surfing WA.
Wow, I've never
Team
heard it
SWA.
like that. Well, this is looking to be a really good heat on paper. Anon Matsuoka opens up with a 5.25, and Kana Nakashio, her first wave, a 3.25. Both Anon and Kana are such incredible surfers, really. They put on a great performance this whole event.
Yeah, they're both quite young, both still junior surfers, and I think Anon is winning the QS at the moment, and I think Kana's coming fourth, so both in contention to qualify for the CS. Anon had her first year on the CS this year. She did quite well, but yeah, she's looking pretty strong out here at Cloud9.
Yeah, she is. I was talking to her in surf a few days ago, and she's going to Brazil after South Korea for ISA World Juniors. So she's got a big run of events.
Yeah, she's had a busy year.
Yeah, super busy. It's pretty cool though.
Here we are, coming
Sky
up the
Brown.
boardwalk. Our first finalist of this year's Siargao International Surfing Cup. There she is, all smiles. Down in the team. She gets a lot of that. Everywhere she goes, people are pulling out cameras going, "Oh, Sky, would you mind?" Yeah, come on. She's a professional. 15 years of age. She's a huge celebrity already. You can see not messing around. She's got the Red Bull sticker on the board, so the big companies are noticing this young lady with the skateboard under the feet, and now she's decided to bring her competition side of life on a surfboard, mate, and she's doing really well.
Yeah, she's started doing the QS this year, and she seems to just be getting stronger and stronger with every event. That surfing in the last heat was pretty unbelievable.
It was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good to watch.
As well, I feel like she's surfing above her years. She's 15 years old, and she's just, putting on such strong performances throughout each heat. For her first semi-final, it was pretty insane to watch. So I'm looking forward to seeing what she brings for a final. But we have one more finalist to determine between Anon and Kana. Both Anon and Kana, as you said, junior surfers. Anon, she's got such a strong backside attack. Kana, a natural footer. So again, we'll see that difference between goofy footers and naturals in this heat. Mark, you were saying that you think at this stage, it kind of suits the goofy footers right now because they can hit it a little bit more critically in the pocket?
Well, it's kind of, if you get a lot of speed off the takeoff, and then there's this bowl presenting itself, and the backhanders can just seem to square off the bottom that little bit more. As Sky was doing, she was coming from deep, kind of behind the foam, and straight up into the pocket. That was where the 7s and 8s came from. But I think we are going to hear from Justin with the winner there, Sky Brown. So over to you, Justin.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Here with our first finalist at the Siargao International Surfing Cup. Sky Brown, congratulations. How are you feeling?
Oh, that was, honestly, it was so dreamy out there. Having, the waves with 2 people and surfing with an amazing local that I love. I've been watching this whole week, has been ripping and getting so pitted. It's been so cool to see. And yeah, I honestly can't believe it. Yeah, it's dreamy for me.
First WSL final ever, is that correct?
Yes, it is. It's kind of my first final ever. I haven't really competed before, so it's really amazing.
Your backhand is looking amazing. You must have great confidence with an 8 and a 7.75 in the semi. What are you going to do between now and the final?
I'm going to cheer my friends on, Anon and Kana, and Shohei, my friend. And yeah, I'm going to cheer everybody on and then wait for my heat and send in my heat. Just going to have fun, have the best time out there.
And a little scratch on the leg, is that anything too serious or you'll be all right?
Nah, I'm used to it. Skating does this, so I was fine. But I got pounded on a set just duck diving.
Okay. Well, here she is, Sky Brown, your first finalist, and she is smiling because she's absolutely smashed it. But we'll see her very soon, and we'll throw back to you guys in the booth.
Well, thanks, Juddo, and the ever-smiling, effervescent Sky Brown right there, stoked as. Ty, I find it amazing that somebody's that's in a first year of competing on the QS and probably only her second QS. Or did she come to NEAS?
Yeah,
her third QS event, and she's picked up competitive tactics like that?
Yeah, I think she's just a special talent. Like anyone who can pick up a sport that quickly, and especially the competition side. Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see what she does in the future.
Watch this space for sure. So, and on now, both high-end Asian region competitors here. They're all pushing up. Both these surfers in the lineup are pushing for a top 3 spot to move straight onto the Challenger Series. There's a few events remaining for them to earn some points. Ty, would you like to enlighten us what's coming up?
Yeah, so we're going straight to Taiwan after this for a QS 5000, which will be co-sanctioned with Australia. So it'll have Asia and Australia's top surfers competing, and then from there we're going to South Korea for a QS 3000 in the wave pool there, which should be exciting and a little different.
Where do you see the life of wave pools in the big scheme of things?
I think they complement ocean surfing pretty well. Probably wouldn't want to go...
Like a novelty event every now and then?
Yeah, I think the waves are definitely good enough to have QS events there for sure, and it's exciting that the surfers all catch the exact same waves, so it makes it a little bit different to ocean surfing, but it's so cool having everyone so close to the action watching, and you can structure the heats to the minute.
Don't have to wait around for the right tide.
No, you can just start when you want, finish when you want. It's yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot of work that has to go into it to get the formats right and the sets right and the wave quality and the wave type. But we've been working with Wave Garden Technologies who do the pool in Korea, and yeah, it's been a challenge, but it's been exciting.
So that brings me to this then. You're the tour manager, right? So how many events a year do you help pull together?
I think this year there was about 38 events between Australia and Asia. So yeah, it's been a busy year.
Do you ever sleep?
Yeah, sometimes. Got pretty good support from Bonnie and the rest of the WSL office. But yeah, this year's been a big year and busy, and looking forward to the Christmas break.
I'm sure you are.
But pretty excited about this event and the 2 upcoming events as well.
And then they're back to the Philippines in January?
Yep, back to La Union in January.
And then
the Australia QS season kicks off.
All right. So if effectively for the Asian region, is it only the 3 more events they have, or can they surf in the Australian events?
So Avoca and Newcastle will be co-sanctioned.
There we go. Okay, so 5 more opportunities for all these crew to feature in the top 5 men and the top 3 women.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice one.
So yeah, the Asian surfers have had a pretty busy year this year. It's been a big tour for them, but I think it's probably one of the best regions. Yeah, like the wave quality that these guys and girls get is insane. To be surfing Krui, Nias, Cloud9, Taiwan, super fun. It's been some really fun waves in the Japan events as well.
I'm really looking forward to seeing what Ty and Tippy and yourself can pull together. Tim and Tippy and yourself can pull together through Asia next year, because I've heard some whispers. I'm not going to mention them, but I'm pretty excited. I love going to those events, mate, because we do get some quality surfing either side of the event as well. And we've got a good work crew, and it's insane to watch all the Indonesians and the Japanese just doing what they're, it's very uplifting, because the level is super high, like you said, and being involved in surf events for a long time, when you're watching really good stuff, and we see that on the Asian region. Here we go, a little barrel for blue. Being Kana.
Kana, she's such an exceptional surfer. She's found a little link up. Nice. Drops her hand back there, so kind of finishing that wave off. I'd like to see the side of that one and how, deep.
Got a little barrel, yeah. Oh, she kind of disappeared. I was watching from the long range.
Yep.
Got a barrel, couldn't see it for a little while, came out, really lent on the heels for that strong little slash in the pocket. So more than just one thing happened. So the judges will probably reward her better ride, I reckon. Oh, dropped straight into the pit. Look at that.
Oh, bigger looking wave as well. So Kana getting a nice little cover up. And then I love how she finishes that one off. She didn't try and do too much. Did try to overcook it.
But dropping straight into the pit, that was sick.
Yeah, that was really cool. So scores to lock in for that last wave of Kana. Anon already has a 5.25. So I feel like that wave, regardless, will see a situation change. And, you know, we're almost halfway down. I feel like this heat's gone so quickly, but scores to lock in for that last wave of Kana. And Taiwan, we've been looking at the swell and what's going on, and it looks like it's pretty solid.
Yeah, it could be a good forecast. There looks like a little bit of a typhoon heading towards Taiwan for later in the waiting period, but the forecast has changed a lot too, so we'll just wait and see.
I feel like we look at it every day and it's different. Well, that last wave of Kana, 5.5, so she gets herself into the lead. Anon needs a 3.51. I feel like this heat hasn't really ramped up yet.
Being uncharacteristically unbusy and just biding a time there, sitting on one reasonable number, the 5.25. So right there in the conversation, I'm sure she'd like to get a backup score, quick, smart, and just reverse the current reading. Here she goes now. So, bang, lightning fast. Again, 2 turns, no downtime, non-stop motion here from Anon Matsuoka. This is our ratings leader on the women's side of the draw, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it takes to be leading the Asian region. That was quality surfing and nice answer back from Anon.
Yeah, she's got such a solid backside attack. She's such an aggressive surfer. And as you said, leading the rankings, she's just looking really solid. I'm a huge fan of this first turn, just gliding off the bottom, straight into the top, and then wasted no time between that second turn as well. Anon just finding a really nice connection on the inside. I'm sure yesterday she had a Filipino, one of the local surfers, as her board caddy. I feel like she's got that today. So they were yelling out. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, they were yelling out, I think, sit deeper or come wider. But 5.6 for that last wave of Anon. It goes into her scoreline really quickly. We can see the
wow, Team Japan, top 10. Look at that.
Yeah.
They burst out of the gates, and just a slender lead over Sarah there for the lead, Anon, but she is making some big points here. You take 3,000 out of this for anybody that wins, and that's a huge bonus. So it's at their top 5 results, is that right,
Yeah,
Ty?
top 5, counting top 5. And I'm sure we'll see Sky Brown rocket up that list after today.
Yep.
With her finals placing.
Yeah. Is she sitting too far below, do you know?
No, I think she's sitting in the 10 to 20 sort of range. So, yeah, she'll...
In the teens?
She'll rock it up.
She'll rock it up into the top 10 for sure.
Well, up next we have men's semi-final. We saw Joe Azuchi getting ready just on screen a little while ago. He's taking on Ketut Agus. Joe is number 3 on the rankings, and Ketut's coming off one of his first year mark on the Challenger Series?
Yes, it was his first year. Challenger Series. He's been competing for a long time throughout Indonesia. We'll get back to Ketut in a moment, but let's have a look here for Kana. A smaller wave and only being able to extract one mini move there. So probably a 3.25 will remain as a second score you've got to be thinking. But yeah, the men's side of the draw as well, you know, everybody's obviously sort of looks at the rankings and going, okay, if I just can make the final or get those 3,000 here, there's plenty of room to move up. I noticed John Mark was languishing right back in about 48th, the defending champion. So he's clearly eyeballing. He wants back in on the Challenger Series. So the defending champ here came out and had a little free surf with us this morning, Ty. He picked up the absolutely best waves while we were out there. He got barreled off his head on his way in. So his free surf went well.
I don't think there'd be a session out there that Marimar doesn't get the best waves. His ability to find the best waves is uncanny.
And it's just like when he lays down and starts paddling, it's like he parts the waters. So surfers go, oh, no worries, yours. He's like, of course it is.
Yeah. If Marimar's paddling on one, no one else is.
Don't even look at it.
So.
Yep. Sit in the channel and watch and learn.
Yeah, yeah. It's been so good watching his heats as well, and, you know, just seeing his approach. Obviously, previous event winner here, and as well, you know, being his local break, he just looks fired up. But having his daughter, Olive, too, I think that's just an extra bonus for him to be able to spend time with her. He was saying the other day that he's been away so much on the Challenger Series and the QS as well that he's not really got to spend too much time with her, so he's just, you know, enjoying it as much as he can, and she is just the cutest thing ever. I think I said to Jessie, if she ends up on a plane back to Australia, she'll be with me.
You're getting a little clucky over there, too.
No way, but she's cute. I will take her anywhere.
No, I agree. Yep. And, you know, the Filipinos, like the Indonesians as well, they don't mess around. They get married early. They have a lot of kids. So, you know, the Indonesians do that. It's all about family and that. So they are a really strong community over here. They're awesomely hospitable, mate, is what I'm picking up every night. We've had these dinners just laid on, and you know, the vibe you pick up is that they're all having a good time. They live in a paradise, and they're very family orientated, and there's a lot of Christian. You know, they're all quite religious as well, and it sort of rubs off into this nice mellow vibe across the scene.
Yeah, everyone's been so welcoming to us every year. The surf culture here is amazing, and the town's so good.
Yeah, they get it, don't they? They're well educated in the sport of surfing, all of them.
For sure.
And we've got a lot of longboarders. We've got a lot of, you know, rip shredders on the shortboards. We've got boogie boarders, some sups. They kind of do a little bit of everything, and they spread out and use every little nook and cranny. And it's just an ocean-going community down here. It's
Yeah,
great.
Absolutely.
A little surf town like where you grew up, mate.
It's probably about 20 degrees difference from where I grew up. Yeah, but yeah, you see all the local surfers doing surf lessons and stuff for tourists, and the economy's kind of built on the back of surfing here.
Well, it is, and there's so much going on down the street here at the back. For anybody that's never been to Siargao, it is a thriving little island here. It reminds me squarely of, say, Kuta 15 years ago. There's the outlook of the street, the busyness of the street. It's still got the cool jungle vibes everywhere, so it hasn't been overgrown with, you know, enterprises and that. It's still quite authentic, but in a strong, busy, bustling way. And I don't know what's more popular. There's a big, you know, once the sun goes down, a lot of people come to life. It seems to be going off every night.
Well, it's quite hot during the day, so I can see why people avoid the midday sun and sort of come out at dusk.
It's been good for us the last few days. We've had midday off pretty much. We've wrapped it around 11 or even earlier, to be honest. And it's been so nice to be able to go in the aircon and get away from that that heat. But
it's just a thick, sweaty heat, isn't it? It just sticks to you. And there's some epic high-end accommodation places along this strip as well, folks. So if you really want to lash out and you know, bring your girlfriend or your wife or whatever on a really cool trip and spend up, well, there's plenty of opportunities. We've been just checking out every sort of venue on the way and swimming in their pools and sitting in their cabanas and ordering off their menus. And there's a lot to like here if you want to come down and have an exclusive holiday. It's a really strong place to do it.
yeah, that it is. That was Joe Azuchi making his way out for the next heat. Coming down to just under 10 minutes, and yeah, still pretty quiet wave-wise in this heat. Anon has that 5.6 and a 5.25 just off her 2 waves that she's had. Kana Nakashio looking for a 5.36. She's within striking distance though. She's such an incredible surfer. She's been putting on a great performance this whole event already. So Kana needs that 5.36, but Anon, you know, she wants to try and better that position in the lead, and she's holding first priority.
It's been a bit of a slower heat, this one. I think it might be pretty close to the top of the tide, so hopefully we see some more waves as the tide starts draining off the reef a little bit later.
Yeah, and we're going for 35-minute finals, you said, this morning, which will allow for a bit more opportunity.
Yeah, it's good that the athletes are being a bit more picky today, just waiting for the better waves and not going the small insider ones like you'd have to in the 4-man heats.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's good. I love 2-man heats. I think it's great that you're able to, you know, be able to call the action on better waves, better quality waves, some sets, and that makes you see better quality surfing.
And it's really cool too just to have that format involved in QS series events, because it gives everybody a little opportunity to practice their person-on-person matchups. If they're looking forward to, you know, Challenger and you want to get on the big tour, it's all sort of you know, minimal numbers at the highest end. So this is just a little bit of a breeding ground. You're keeping it real, about as real as it could be. If you want to become a championship tour surfer, that this is a good little school of knocks, and this is how you learn it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure the surfers are really appreciating get to surf Cloud9 with just one other person out. Would be a pretty nice feeling, I'd say.
We've got to just factor in an officials hour at some point. Ty, any chance?
I would love to, Mark, but there hasn't been a lot of spare time for us to get out there. Last year in Taiwan, we had a staff expression session.
Of course you did. How long did that go for? 2 hours?
It was 1 hour.
1 hour, of course it was. I remember quickly we had an event at Macaroni's years ago, and we had an officials surf one afternoon, and we made the Rip Curl boss made all the Indonesian surfers go in for 80 minutes while 6 of us had a little surf off. It was unreal.
That's so good.
It was. It was really cool. So type, so something like that would be fine. Thanks, mate. Maybe add an extra day to the format next year.
I think that sounds like a good plan.
I would not be unhappy being here for an extra day. It is so beautiful here. I keep saying to
That's a
my
nice
sister
segue there.
Jessie, yeah, look at it. It is just stunning. The water is so clean. You know, the reef isn't scary and angry looking at you. You can, you know, pretty much fall on a wave, and I haven't hit the reef yet, so it's been so nice.
Well, you're not out of here yet, True. Don't count your chickens too early.
My yet's there. Yeah.
Now, the first year I came here, we had a typhoon hovering off the coast, and it perfectly whipped up, you know, a 4 to 6 foot swell for the whole 10 or 12 days I was here, and it really caught my attention. You can stand on that boardwalk and watch probably 15 waves cracking off all around you. So there's some real solid options. This wave really steps up and becomes a bit of a board chewer. It's a seriously strong wave when it's doing its thing, and then all the other little reefs as well. The crowds spread out. And John Carby was telling us that you probably get less surfers surfing when it is big and 6 foot and above than on these real busy little days.
Yeah, you can imagine that days like this and even smaller seem to be pretty user-friendly. It's not really a scary wave out there. There's definitely waves where you go, oh, that one looks a little bit daunting, but, you know, you go anyway. But for Anon and Kana in this heat, once again, the waves have just been a little bit lackluster, but they've made the most of what they've had, a 5.6 and a 5.25. And Kana has a 5.5. She needs a 5.36 right now to get herself into a final. Anon's already had an event win at Krui, taking away 5,000 points. Kana had a little look. She's under priority, so she can make the most of what's going on. And up next, Mark, you'd be pretty excited for this next heat with...
Oh, Katut, yeah, look, Katut Agus, for me, watching the way he's gone about his year and the performances he's put on over all his heats has been, you know, people have been calling BOG, you know, the best so far because his rail game is just exquisite. He's absolutely on a killer board.
Yep.
He's coming up in the next heat in red. He's taking on Joe Azuchi, so he's going to have to be on his game. But yes, the men's semi-finals are about 5 minutes away, so looking forward to both those and just the whole day, you know, only 6 heats to go. It's finals day and, you know, this is what we surf a whole week for. So I'm pretty pumped. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I agree. I think Joe Azuchi has been looking on point the whole event. He's had some pretty great heats starting off really strong, really quickly as well. So I'm excited. I think this next heat's going to be really good. And then semi-final number 2 with Shohei and Marima is going to be a great one.
Yep, it's all set up for a very entertaining 3 hours of power here this morning. Starting at 7:30, should see us finishing up just after 10:30 tie, and then a little bit of officialdom this evening over there at the closing ceremony.
Yeah, the boardwalk. The town loves to get down there and have a big closing ceremony and celebrate.
Basically a street party, isn't it?
It pretty much is.
Are we going to see some dances again?
I'm not sure what the festivities will include.
Right.
But I'm sure...
I heard you're going to get up there and get involved.
Yeah, I'll probably have to make a little speech. Dancing, probably not.
Haven't you got a dancing coach, mate? You know, you're in this new role. You've got to sort of perform at some point.
Babes and I have signed you up.
He said that you signed up for karaoke, True, after seeing your performance.
Oh, hang on, Sam Norwood will come running out there in a minute once you mention the word karaoke. All right.
Oh dear, we've all been having a good old laugh.
Well, we've got a fair bit left of centre of this heat, but there hasn't been a lot of waves caught, so we are trying to stay with the live action, everybody, but we're at a little bit of a stalemate at this moment. Red is in the lead, and we know that Kana is chasing a 5.36 to reverse that situation. She's on the hunt, so here we go. Maybe Ty, take us through this.
Yeah, she's put a bit of distance from Anon and found this wave on the inside.
Oh,
It's a nice turn.
wow.
Good little bit of flow about that. It's stringing together, you know, something to catch the judges' attention right from that first move. So I think things get really close once that score drops.
She needs a 5.36. I feel like, you know, it could be almost...
It's going to get close. It's
Yeah,
going to be
yeah,
really,
I
you know,
agree.
you watch these two numbers. We're sitting on a 10.85 two-wave total for Anon. I think Kana gets pretty close to that number now. So
Do you think that was a little mistake from Anon to let Kana go that wave? Seeing Anon had priority?
maybe Anon's thinking she just wants to improve on her scoreline as well. So she's playing offensive as opposed to sort of snuffing out any sort of duel here.
I think as well, Anon was sitting a little wider, so maybe Kana got that a bit deeper, and Anon, it might have just slipped past. But I agree. I think it was a mistake, depending on how this score comes in. But that was a nice first turn, a bit of a fumble, and then backs it up really nicely for a strong second connection. A 5.36 is not a big requirement, and the judges are going to have to take a really solid look at this wave because it's an important number.
This could turn it. This could give us our remaining finalist. So the time, it doesn't, you know, don't mind if it takes a bit of time to get these scores because you want the best surfers. You want to get the right result. So you're always looking to get the best surf, the most worthy surfer through any heat. So that's what they're probably discussing right now, Ty.
Yeah, I'm sure Ty and the team are watching every single wave from the heat and comparing them all, and they're going to decide the winner of that last wave of Kana's.
I think so. Got to separate the numbers and decipher what was best in the big scheme of things and the criticalness and all that sort of action. So Anon, I'm tipping, still wants to ride another wave. There's only 1 minute to go here, so she might be feeling a little threatened.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sure she's feeling a little nervous right now.
Yeah, not knowing, especially when scores take this long. You know it's right on the borderline.
For sure.
It's like, it's a good thing when, you know, the judges are deliberating scores and taking their time because it means that they're really, you know, assessing what's going on and seeing where it fits into the heat. But it can be quite hard for, you know, a person like Anon right now.
Yeah, she wants to know the
She
situation.
she needs to know what's going on. She has priority though, and if I was her, I would just say, in my head, yep, she's got the score. I need to get a
surf
6.
a wave.
I need to surf a wave. That's a
proactive
mentality she should be having right now. And with priority, she's in a good position. But there's 15 seconds to go.
Wow.
So, you know, that score still hasn't locked in for Kana Nakashia yet. So Anon really just needs to hope and pray that it's not
Well,
the
the heat's
score,
over.
and
The time
needs
just
to.
ran out. Yeah, that's it. They've got to sit there now, and their fate is in the hands of the judges. So both these girls, neither of them know who is our second finalist on the women's side of the draw. Neither do I. We're going to have to come back, I think, in a moment with that result because we're just going on hold for a moment. We'll be back with the men's semi-finals right after this.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our surf fans across the globe tuning in to finals day here at the Siargao International Surfing Cup. Official results, it was a nail-biter. Look at that, just 0.25 separating Anon Matsuoka and Kana in that one. That was super close. Judges had a good look at it. It was a 5.10, not the 5.36 she needed. So into the men's semi-finals, we've got Katut Agus taking on Joe Asuchi from Japan. These guys have both been deadly throughout the event. Lucky to be joined by John Carby, mate, out of the hot seat and into the out of the frying pan and into the fire. It's warm out there, but this is pretty spicy here too, mate.
You guys got first class. You got fans blowing in a breeze. No, it's good to be out on the tower, but it's also good to be in the booth with you guys. Different perspective.
Yeah.
And an exciting heat. That last one. What a finals day we've had so far, huh?
Oh, so good to see. So Mark is heading out. He's going to be chatting with Anon. Semi-finals up and riding.
Whoa.
Joe Azuchi trying to put it really vert. The wave just backed off right when he needed it to push back towards him. But this is going to be an exciting matchup. Both of these guys, their rail surfing's been impeccable throughout the event.
They've both spent a bit of time on the Challenger Series as well, so the experience that you gain from that sort of next level is good testament to why these guys are sitting in the semi-final at the moment. And one of these guys is going to meet either the local boy or Gio in the next one. So pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm super excited to be here. Semi-final number one. They're 30-minute matchups. As we all know, each surfer's best two waves are combined for a combined total out of a maximum of 20. These two guys, I think, are starting to really hit form at the right part of the event. There we see a unlucky Kana just walking back up the stairs, her caddy there. And this is live action. Japanese surfer slicing on the first maneuver. But Katut Agus, I think he's been sort of flying under the radar. He's dropped some massive numbers, an 8.9 yesterday. I believe he's been a little bit under the weather, but just pretty much surfing and chilling between his heats. And, you know, the finals is really, really close. True, who's that?
Yeah, that's Anon Matsuoka. Anon just made herself, well, she's seen herself into the finals, I should say, along with Sky Brown. So Anon, this will be, I think, her second final appearance this year. She won the 5,000 in Krui, which was a co-sanctioned event with the Australian region. And yeah, Anon, she's leading the rankings, and she came into this event knowing that she needed a good result to solidify that. She came off her first year on the Challenger Series as well, and she's also still doing the juniors after all this run of events. She's going to Brazil for the ISA World Juniors. But Joe Azuchi, he's just looking so on fire. A 4 for this wave. His rail work has been really solid, and we've seen him in his heats just apply pressure really early.
I saw Filma Alapeo behind Anon. John,
Pretty famous board caddy there.
Yeah.
Filma and his wife Andy, pretty big deal here in the Philippines. They keep pretty low key and they're pretty humble. They have the Happy Islanders Board Riders Club, Happy Islander Cafes, and Happy Islanders YouTube. They're definitely doing good stuff in the community too. They sort of look after a lot of their team riders, getting them to a lot of the events. They took a crew to India for that QS 3000, was it? Not so long ago. And I'm not sure if they're going to get on to the next two, but they're just doing wonderful things throughout the community. Here in Siargao and Katangnan, Filma leading that sort of local push to get these guys up to that next level.
John, you're playing a pretty vital role in the Filipino surf community as well. Mate, tell us what it is about this community. Obviously the waves pump here, but you know, the Philippines is a pretty new surfing nation, and they look like they're, you know, pretty ready to take the next step and become a force to be reckoned with.
That's sort of where it is at the moment, and it is sort of built on the back of a lot of hard work. I'll just hold up while Red takes off onto this one. Katut, always dangerous out there. power and flow this dude has it, and a rail game almost like no one else. He can just get the scores on those sections that a lot of guys don't see.
Well, we're going to throw to Mark Clift, who is with our next our women's finalists. Over to you, Mark.
All right, thanks, Justin. Yes, I have the winner and our second finalist on the women's side of the draw here, Anon Matsuoka. Anon, you only rode 2 waves right then. What's going on?
Oh my gosh, that was really slow heat, and then I just got only 2 waves, but yeah, I'm so happy to into the finals. Yeah.
All right, well, listen, you've got a legendary caddy in your corner in Filmar Alapeo. What was the debrief like after the heat? What did Filmar say to you perhaps after the heat?
Like Firma said, always like good, teach me about good position, and then yeah, so big thanks for Firma because of he's here, so I could relax and then yeah, just focus to my surfing. So really good, yeah.
All right, and leading the Asian ratings here at the moment, obviously a big step forward for you in this event. This could really consolidate your standing. Would you like to answer that question, how important the ratings are? Answer it in Japanese.
In Japanese?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. ギリギリだったんですけど、勝ててよかったです。ファイナルではスカイトなので、まあ自分らしく自分らしいサーフィンして頑張りたいと思います。応援よろしくお願いします。Alright.
And a lot of friends and family and sponsors at home watching here today online in Japan. So how about we give them a little bit more Japanese flavour?
In Japanese? Okay. お父さんとあとはスポンサーの皆さん、友達のみんな応援ありがとうございます。頑張ります。
Well, thank you very much, Anon. I'm going to shake your hand. It's going to be a battle of the goofy footers in the final. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. And I was just going to say that all goofy foot battle coming up in the women's final, which is, you know, under an hour away. So pretty exciting stuff. Sky Brown to take on the current WSL Asia rankings leader in Anon Matsuoka. I'm excited for that one, but during the interview we saw Ketut Agus really light up a couple of waves. A 4.75 and a 3.0 have locked in for him. He takes an early lead, leaving Joe Asuchi chasing a 3.76. I think these are just a couple of little sort of jabs getting thrown. No one's landed a killer punch in the first 8 minutes, but both of these guys really exciting surfers and have very bright futures ahead of them.
Yeah, I think, you know, Ketut coming off his first year in the Challenger Series, Joe Azuchi is such a strong surfer as well. I agree, they've got such a exciting future ahead, and I think, you know, the fact that they're both in the semi-finals here is pretty exciting. I feel like this could almost be a final. The next semi-final could also almost be a final. You know, it's the level of surfing in this region is just insane. So it's been so amazing to watch.
And John, you are, as we said before, sort of steering the ship, adding some guidance, a bit of coaching. You know, what role are you playing in, I guess, this development of this region and, you know, some of the surfers coming out of here?
All right. Yeah, I was sort of saying that this has been a long journey for the Philippines. They are watermen and women by nature. Obviously, there's about 7,000 islands around, so...
Wow.
There's a lot of water. There's an east coast, Joe just having a look at that one, and a west coast and a north bit of tip and even some waves down the south. So plenty of waves around the Philippines, and the ability is sort of growing. As the WSL sort of went to this Asia region concept, and also the Olympics being a big news for our sport of surfing, the government's taken a bit more of an interest in getting a bit of funding behind it. We had Vinny Marcos in here the other day. He's the presidential son and a huge supporter of surfing. He's into it himself. He's been into it for about a year and a half now, and he's progressing well, which is also good for sort of our sport and also great for him. Shout out to Vinny if you're watching. Keep ripping, you're getting there. Also support here through Kong Bingo, the LGU. They're really focusing on surfing. They understand that surfing has made this place sort of what it is. Like, people come here to surf, and now the surfing culture is built around that. So my role is one of the national coaches. I'm just a part of a piece of the puzzle. Not a big piece, not a major piece, just a part of a team that's sort of building everything. So we're sort of just trying to professionalise it in these smaller regions, communities. We've got a good national tour and we sort of have now teams cruising around doing international events, and the skill it's growing. As you can see, we had Marima on the Challenger Series. He's from this region, and we also had a guy from up north, JR, on the Longboard World Tour.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And coming in 8th place. So we're only a new nation, like you said, but the development is there. We have the skill set. It's now just bringing the package together. So instead of having one every now and again, we have 3 or 4 sort of knocking at the door. We looked at Indonesia. We've got good friends over there in Surfing Victoria and also Surfing Western Australia, of course. So big package.
Well, here we see the Japanese surfer.
Oh.
Beautiful floater to get out onto the open face.
Oh.
Unfortunately, cannot stomp that manoeuvre. So, yeah, nice bit of distance travelled there. But, John, how long have you been sort of coming to this beautiful part of the world for, mate?
I sort of live here. I've been here for about 8 years. There's the replay of Joe. Nice transition floater. Just getting caught up on that. Shame for Joe because maybe a bit of nerves out there against Katut, semi-finals, some big sort of moments on the line for him. I've been here for about 8 years now, almost going on 9 years. Me and my wife founded a school on the island, just a little private Christian English-speaking school. So it's a good reason to be here. And I sort of just plugged myself into the surfing game, just bringing sort of the experience. We have the benefit in Australia of growing up with surfing. It's a part of our nature. Board riders clubs, competitions every weekend if you want to get involved. And it's just a benefit that we get that even just being a part of that culture, I can bring and just help out. Like these guys have it so good. They're so skillful and just a little bit of direction.
Well, this is a good-looking wave for Azuchi in the blue.
Oh.
My goodness, that was a devastating first manoeuvre. And this one's lining up through the inside part of the reef pretty nicely for him, but I think he's going to lock in his best score. That first forehand gouge was so good, so powerful. And that's the sort of surfing I think you're going to have to throw down if you want to be a finalist here at Cloud9. True, talk us through it.
Yeah, I think that you use the word devastating, and I think that just described that turn perfectly. Joe is so sharp on rail. I really liked that whole wave from Joe Azuchi. He's looking solid, so waiting on that score to lock in. He needs a 3.76 to go to the lead. I feel like he's going to get that for sure. It would just be nice to see him maybe, change it up a little bit, get barreled, come out, get a couple of turns, but there's John Mark Takong.
Happiest kid on the island right there.
Absolutely.
I say kid, he's 27 years old. He has a wife and daughter. People do forget that about him. He's a full-blown man by now. He's just small in stature but big in personality.
Yeah.
He's an absolute weapon. And if you're out there in the water with him, I think that next heat, it's going to be a battle of the airs. I can't wait to see it going.
I was really lucky to spend a little bit of time with Marima as well in Australia for the first couple of Challenger Series events. The second one in Narrabeen is where I grew up, so I went down there, was lucky to be commentating for the event and surf with Marima there. We both train with the same coach, Adam Dufner.
Dufner, the legend.
Duffy, if you're watching, hello. But yeah, no, he's great. I'm a huge fan. Always has a smile on his face, and I feel like, he leaves people better than he finds them for Marima. So yeah, he's a good egg, that one.
He is, and he's just had a really tough year on the Challenger. He walked away with 2 heats only throughout the whole season, but he stuck to it. That's when you can sort of find those really dark points in your life, and you don't feel worthy. Him showing up to this event, I'm sure he was carrying nerves. He's the defending champion. He would have come through with a whole bunch of nerves and anxiety, and he's risen to it. He's in the semi-finals, which if he gets that far, it's an amazing sort of testament to his character and how much he loves this sport.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, love the guy absolutely to death.
Is he big enough in the Philippines that you'll see, his face on a billboard back in, the capital or anything like that? Do people outside of Siargao know who Marima is?
We're getting there.
Okay.
It is still a 1%er sort of sport. Probably not even that. We're probably still talking points of percentages in the Philippines. If you're in the city, you probably won't even know who surfing is or what surfing is. So we're getting there. Filma is actually a great ambassador for the sport also.
Okay.
With their sort of star rising, a lot of people are talking about the sport. I've been pulled up in customs, asked if I know Filma. which is pretty cool. Good way to get out of customs. So thank you, Filmar, for getting me through those sticky situations with some customs officers. That was actually during pandemic. I came back and yeah, but yeah, we're getting there with the sport. We're still a very low grade sport in the Philippines.
But it looks like the government's getting right behind it. You know, we saw at the opening ceremony. I'm sure we'll see at the closing ceremony later on today that, you know, all levels of government here are sort of, you know, backing surfing, and I guess the economic benefit that it brings, you know, not only this island itself, but the whole country is starting to be recognised. And it's good to see in the 5 years since I was last here, John, that the place is just booming. There's restaurants, there's cafes, there's so many things to do. There's so many different, you know, nationalities and cuisines that you can eat at night. And we were lucky enough to do a little function last night just to, again, help guide and promote the pathway for Philippine surfers. So a big shout out to James O'Donnell, another guy who does a lot of work behind the scenes. But Philmar was there, and you know, Mark, our co-commentator, asked him about his win over there in Sumbawa a few years ago, and we asked him about his 9.5, and everyone was pretty excited to hear him talk about doing rodeo flips.
He's the only guy out there doing them, that's for sure. I had a feeling he might try one. He's been sort of ramping up and doing a few of them out in the water on the lead up to the event. He's been away a bit, went to India, had a local tour going on as well. And I was hoping that he'd sort of send one. I didn't think he would send it in a moment that he was in. He was in second place, not secure by any means, and he had the arrogance to throw a rodeo flip, which I absolutely love. And that's where you get his personality. What you see in the water is what you get in real life with Filmar. Put a camera in his face and he sort of gets a little bit shy and clams up a bit. But if you get him one-on-one or in a group where he's comfortable, he is the most fun you could ever have.
Well, we've got live action here. Ketut Agus currently in second position. Nice first turn. Oh, goes for a really powerful layback manoeuvre. Can't ride out of it, so not sure that he's going to improve his situation. Joe Azuchi locked in at the best wave of this semi-final, a 5.40. So he does lead our Indonesian Challenger Series surfer, chasing a 4.66 or better to become a finalist here.
What a region, what a region. Huh?
Oh, it is a super strong region, and we feel like all of these Asian countries are really starting to step it up, you know, and they'll certainly be challenging the stalwarts of professional surfing like Australia, Brazil, America. Some of the European countries have been doing it for a long time, but I really think this little Asian region has started to come to the boil, and we're going to see a lot more surfers popping up that we've maybe never heard of before, or certainly stepping it up onto the Challenger Series in 2024.
Absolutely. This regional system now is a huge benefit to Asia also. We have got events popping up all over the regions. You guys are off to Taiwan next, and then followed by Korea. There's Ketut just getting unstuck on that second little blow fintail.
We actually had Ty Sarati in here for the last heat, and he said that he is the tour manager for Asia and Australia, and there's been about 38 events this year.
Wow.
That he's been a part of organising. So
goodness.
So many events. I think that, you know, next year we maybe could see more, which is insane. It's, you know, especially for the Asian circuit, there's so many events. They've had a really great year as well.
And it's really good because it gives these guys an opportunity to get to events local to them, so it doesn't cost them everything they've ever earned or made, and they don't have to beg too hard to get the money to travel to these events, because the money's just not in the industry yet. So having more local events and a chance to qualify for that next level, it's a lot easier to get a sponsor if you're CT or Challenger Series level. Yeah. And the Challenger Series is the next step. So it's a really good initiative that the WSL has taken on, doing these regional qualifiers, because we had a seat in the Challenger Series, which gets us the experience in our region to know where the level's set, where the bar is. As soon as they mix it in with the Australian, European and American and South American surfers, it really does show where the bar is. So even just Marima dipping his toes in that Challenger Series, he now knows what the level is, and he brings that back to his community. So really cool.
100%. I couldn't agree more. John, one question I did want to ask is, obviously this has been a pretty small swell throughout the entire event. You know, obviously all the locals would really be dominating if it was big and barreling. They know the reef really well, but do they surf still in these sort of conditions, you know, where it requires turns and airs, and or do they sort of turn their nose up it and go, oh, I'm going to wait till it's 6 to 8 foot and just piping?
It's changing. The guards are changing. It really is. And that's what you'll find now, particularly as it's getting more serious, the level's going up, and they will start coming out when it's not so good. In Australia, we get out basically whenever you can. If you've got an hour gap after work, you'll get out there because generally the conditions are pretty bad. These guys have about 3 to 6 months where it potentially pumps. And when it is firing, the guys will be out there for sure.
Yep.
And more are now starting to join the windy onshore sectiony, a little bit uglier waves, which is cool, and that is also why they're doing so well out here. And they also starting to hit the air game, you know what I mean? So it's very hard to go out and crisp pumping 8 foot cloud 9 and hit our air section.
Yep.
It's just terrifying. But when it's 3 to 4 foot onshore with a little bit of wind in a section, they're starting to learn that that's a rodeo flip section.
100%. Cool breakdown, and we saw some pretty cool vision shot above the Vizsla shop last night, and I think you got a couple of waves on there, mate. I saw you threading a couple, but what really impressed me was Marimar. It was big, it was throaty, he was doing all the tube work, but then he was launching these massive airs like right on the dry end section. It was crazy. As we see Katut also going to the air. Maybe just got to that section a little bit late, so you can see that he's, you know, starting to reassess the conditions. Doesn't need a big score to move into the lead. And right now, what we've noticed about the Japanese surfers, they're super disciplined. I think they use the priority really well, and I'm sure that Joe will look to improve on that 4.0, but he'll probably, you know, control the tempo a little bit in the back end of this heat, just under 8 minutes remaining. And,
super scary holding on to that priority when you're against someone like Katut also.
Yep.
And we saw then if he had got that air reverse 4.66, definitely on the cards on any wave for a guy like Katut. So discipline and structure comes into play, but then you've got those mind games, this one or not.
Yeah, 100%. True, we've sort of been sitting here for, you know, 6 days. This is the 7th and final day of the waiting period. Obviously, one day we couldn't serve, but is this your first time to Cloud9, and what have you loved about the place the most?
Yeah, this is my first time here, first time to the Philippines altogether, to be honest, and I've actually just loved the hospitality. There's Marima there, you know, they're all so welcoming, so beautiful and caring, so it's been amazing to be here and just experience that. But the waves are fun. The water is just so beautiful as well. So it's great to just be here and experiencing everything. The food is good.
The food is good.
Can't complain about that either. You can see, you know, like, it's just great to be able to wake up and see super fun waves and know that you're going to get that most days. So
you've been pretty treated with the food too. You've been taken to some of the best little resorts on the island, thanks to Babes.
Yep.
Shout out to Babes and his hosting capabilities.
It's been amazing.
You guys have done it well.
Oh my goodness, I've eaten like a king. I've had fun waves. We've really enjoyed our time here, and you know, the hospitality that True spoke about is definitely evident not only in the surfers, but also in the you know, accommodation providers, the vendors who bring us food. Everyone's just so frothing, and you know, they're always smiling and stoked to see, I think, travelling surfers here, which is a cool thing.
Yeah, and it's not unique to Cloud9, this area. All of Siargao's like that. You'll go anywhere, and they're going to welcome you with open arms. They'll bring you in for a feed.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And also, the Philippines in general, that's just their nature. A lot of people don't realise it.
Well, Katut up and riding. You can see that he is wanting to impress the judges, but maybe just forcing it a little bit. You know, his surfing has been razor sharp, and you know, he's pulled some really big scores from just some good traditional surfing, and maybe he just needs to draw from a little bit of his past heat experience. But 5 minutes, it's going to go pretty quick, I reckon.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's, those last couple of waves, it just seems like he's trying to do something just a little bit too much on the wave. He's almost better off just surfing to a 4 instead of surfing to a 6, just so that he can find himself in a comfortable position and then really ramp it up from there. But, Katut, we've seen him do huge turns, literally go for a Hail Mary and then pull it off. So, I feel like we could see that in the next 4.5 minutes. He just needs to maybe get that confidence back into him a little bit.
Well, I love this drone angle. You can see the water clarity here. You can see the sets when they start to peel on in. And Katut is going to go again. So let's see what he does. Yep, he's going to stick to the rail manoeuvres. And this wave a little bit shorter, but does jam in 3 pretty impressive turns. So was looking to improve on a 3.1. A 4.66 will be the score to put him into the lead. 4 minutes on the clock. I don't know that Joe Azuchi will be giving him too many more opportunities, but this is a tight heat.
I reckon the judges will be going back to Katut's 4.75 and sort of checking where that was at, because it was a similar size wave and similar manoeuvres. Not too much on that opening one. That little fin blowout and a third 3 combination, very strong surfing. And like you said, he's heading for that 4. He listened to you. He heard you. He's surfing to what he needs instead of where he wants to get to.
Yeah, so scores starting to lock in. Doesn't look like it's going to be enough, though. 4.2, so the judges wanting to see Katut do a little bit more. So Joe Azuchi did well to leave that wave, but, also very, very stoic move there.
Here he goes. He's going to go sit next to him now. I don't think he'll let that happen again.
No. You can see Joe, he's moving towards red. He's going to control the next 3 minutes. I think Katut's going to hope for maybe a couple of waves set that Joe might go on one, giving him an opportunity to take off on a set wave. So very achievable scores required in the red column. Just checking his watch, you'll see that there's under 3 minutes remaining. And it felt like a little bit more energy. Mark and I got up early for a surf, John, but it sort of felt like 2 new swells. It was a little bit weird and, not lining up perfectly.
Cloud9 does not love this short period stuff. It's a little bit later generally than we normally have this event. Normally we're early October, late September. Even this time of year, I'd expect a little bit better quality than what we've had. It's just been probably the worst Cloud9 we've had for a long time during a WSL event.
Wow.
And it's still pumping. Like, that's the standard that we have here. For an event, it generally turns on. So having this 3 to 4 foot, pretty clean conditions for the week is pretty good. I was expecting, when I heard early November, late October, I was expecting 6 to 8 foot onshore, just pretty gnarly conditions.
Wow.
Which is usually what we'll have the Amihan season, they call it, which is a northeaster that blows in. And that's sort of the trade wind for the next 3.5 months.
Okay.
So this is good. Cloud9's done it. It's just done it its way. But yeah, what you're seeing is the shorter period north swell.
Gotcha.
Sort of sections up the reef a little bit. We sort of enjoy longer periods. So anywhere from 10 seconds with the northeast direction is what you're looking at Cloud9. It's when you're going to take off, look down the reef, wait 3 seconds, get barreled, and hope you come out before you hit the reef.
Well, very good insight. We're sitting alongside John Carby. He's a national coach. He's a beach commentator. We've been lucky enough to pull him in here and really, extract some insight and some information out of him. So I'll be checking Surfline and looking for a northeast 10-second swell. Here goes Katut.
10 plus. If you can get up to the 12 to 15 second, let's go for that. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Good to know. Well, Katut, he is hunting on the inside. That wave was never going to be the 4.66, but you can see Joe not really that interested in catching waves, more interested in making sure that Katut doesn't get a good one.
You can see the decisions going in his head. He's eyeing off every little part of the wave. There's a bit of a crowd for no particular reason.
Well, Joe goes, so does utilise priority to keep Katut off this one. Looks back over his shoulder. A little bit nervous, I don't know.
Out of his hands now.
Yep, he's not even looking, he's just like, oh, is that wave going to come? Sitting on the inside, he has done his best job. Will Katut get an opportunity?
How wide for Katut?
Wow.
Doesn't look like it. Looks like he's conceded that body language. He's sat up.
nothing. Joe Azuchi would be breathing a sigh of relief right now.
Would he ever? There you go. Looks like Marimar, the first guy there. Again, just that hospitable Filipino culture, shakes his hand. We're going to take a short break and be back with semi-final number 2 right after this.
All right, here we are back to the beautiful Cloud 9. You can see by that little picture on the screen, there's a lot that goes on the shoreline. There's a surf school there and there's a nice little swimming hole, but more importantly, men's semi-final going on right out just past that bit of foam there they call Cloud 9. We got Justin Majex, myself and Noah Artfeld has decided to come in and join us and spend a bit of time in the commentary booth. So we're going to say good morning to both you gentlemen, but Noah, here we go.
Hello guys, good morning.
Good morning. Let's maybe get that a little bit closer. There we go. So Noah had a big heat yesterday. John Mark Tokong, the defending champion, you guys had a really good quarterfinal yesterday. How did you feel at the end of that?
Like I felt so, like I wanted to win that heat. I really wanted to make it, but unfortunately in my last wave, I didn't ride out of my air, so I was still happy, but I would have been more happy if I would have advanced through that heat.
Well, you know, that's the learning curve, you know,
Yeah.
when you come to these events. You're up against the master and the defending champ, and you had a good tube on that final wave, and you went for the air rev, and they're the little things at the top end that we just need to tidy up to become a top-level pro. Justin?
Yeah, this is live action. We got Shohei Kato here, and he had a really impressive aerial game yesterday. Stomped a big full rotor and was just taken to the air, so it was really impressive to see. And here's the replay. Looks like he's got
himself a couple of rides. His first one is still being debated. So this was his first ride, I imagine.
Yep. So he's clearly going to the aerial game. Noah, you've got a really impressive air game. Mark and myself, we got here on our very first day, paddled out and saw you land a massive alley-oop. Do you remember that air?
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was like probably one of my best alley-oops yet.
That was super cool. You had the whole lineup. All the local boys were hooting and hollering for you. You paddled back out with a massive smile, but that was a good sort of 10 feet in the air. It was a big one.
Yeah, when I paddled out, like back out, everyone was saying, "Wow, that was huge!" And like, yeah, I was so stoked to land that.
All right, well, a 6.25 for Shohei's very first ride, so he's got his big air rev locked in and looking pretty slick here this morning. That is what the tower looks like in spectators' corner. Who have we got there?
That's Marama's daughter and his wife right there, watching him.
Thanks, Noah. It's a big deal down here. The surf community are right into the event and supporting the locals. Do you feel that when you go out and compete?
Yeah, the surf community here is like really supportive for all the local surfers. So, yeah.
Take us through this wave, please.
Oh, Marama in the barrel, coming out with a nice turn. Just needs to finish this.
Man, he does.
Yeah.
All right. So there goes Mumsy and the little one. Pretty happy with that ride. That's got him release some nerves after his first 2 efforts, which were just throwaway scores below 1 point. Here it is again, Justin. Did you like this?
I did. Sort of, he's quite small guy, disappeared behind the curtain and just went to the turns just to get some runs on the board and, you know, try and challenge that 6.25, which Red has locked in. So
I think it will. It was, well, it's in, and the judges want more out of John. It's only a 4. I think they wanted to see perhaps a longer tube, a bit more devastating moves. They want to see the air, basically, because Shohei boosted quite a nice air reverse to get majority of his 6.25. So the judges have been fairly brutal on handing out big numbers this week, Justin, and that theme remains the same on finals day.
100% right. You know, to become a finalist, you have to throw down good to excellent surfing consistently. And, yeah, I think the message has been sent. You know, Marimar, you need a deeper barrel and you need to go to the air. So I think he's got the arsenal that will be able to, you know, definitely see some improvement in his scoreline. Still a lot of time. Noah, a question for you. Where do you sit on the rankings, and are you going to go to the next couple of events in this Asia region? Are you going to go to Taiwan, and are you going to go do the wave pool?
On the rankings, I'm pretty far behind yet, but I think I'll be moving up now because I got good results here. And Taiwan, I'm not sure because I think the registration is full. And Korea, maybe we're still trying to get like some funding.
So what you got to do, Noah, is you got to look ahead into next year's schedule, book your plans, book your events, get the entry in early because, yeah, if they book out, it's tough luck. But here goes John Mark Tokong looking for a barrel again. This is a little deeper this time, Justin. He busts out through the curtain, flicks out, so he might even regain top priority here. But the crowd on the boardwalk love it. You can see Sky Brown's dad right there. Sky will be taking on Anon in our goofy-footed women's final. Coming up momentarily. I think that is the next heat scheduled. It is. So that was a good tube. Plenty of time behind the curtain. A nice little disappearing act. No manoeuvres, but hey, a pretty clean tube is always a good way to impress.
Noah, is this your best ever result, a quarterfinal finish at a QS 3000? Is that the best result for you ever?
Yeah, this is my best results in the QS. I've been like always wanting to be surfing a man-to-man heat on the QS. So.
And you got pretty close, man. You got one little rotation away from being right there in the blue rashi. That's how close it was, right? So keep the belief. Like I was saying, look at next year's schedule, pinpoint all the Asian region events, enter them early, get in the politician's ear in the local area, get the funds raising, and get to more events, because I can see that you will be a big beneficiary of improving your act solidly by competing at this level on a consistent basis, not just one event like NIAS this year. Go to more of them. 19 years of age, tell us, what was it like growing up in this immediate area when you started surfing, and tell us about that.
Yeah, just grew up pretty simple. Like when I was like young, I wasn't really that much into surfing, but we live like right in front of Tuason, so I watch the surf every day. And like there's this one day, like I saw Kai Kai, the little kid. He was surfing out Tuason like big waves, and I was thinking like, oh, he's a little kid surfing these waves. I want to do that. So yeah, that's when I started to like take surfing seriously and started going out more and every day.
Thank you, Noah. 19 years of age. We'll get more of Noah in a moment, but we are going to hear from Joe Azuchi down on the boardwalk with True Starling. Go, True.
Thank you so much, guys. Joe, you're into the finals. Congratulations. Bit stressful at the end.
Yeah, thanks so much. Happy, yeah.
And with Katut, he's a great surfer, but you did really well at the start. What are you going to do in the final?
Kate is so good surfer, so me, Victor, point, yeah.
Will you watch this next heat to see what the surfers do?
Next heat, maybe Shohei, more Marama, so big air, me, Victor, yeah. Okay.
Would you like to say hi to anyone back at home in Japanese?
Yeah. 次も頑張るんで応援お願いします。
Awesome. Thanks so much, Joe. Back to you guys.
All right. Well, that's a good point. Let's get a little bit of Siargao now non-language going on. Why don't you just tell the people about your experience yesterday in the local language in that heat?
So ako experience kahapon, grabe ka gana kay first time na ako no abot ng quarterfinal sa QS event sa WSL. So grabe na ako kalipay kay nakaabot lagi ako ng man-to-man hit tapos isa ra ka tawa ko iba nag-surf sa Cloud9. So grabe na ako kalipay dito nagduwa.
Here he is, busting out the fins again. So the theme is set, Justin. The boys are turning it into an air show. And meanwhile, a little bit of a tube to kick things off here for sixth wave now for Shohei. All right, it's good to see the waves rolling through now, a bit more rapid fire, Justin.
Yeah, the boys are starting to hit a bit of rhythm in this one. You know, they're going for the airs, they're threading a couple little tubes. So right now, a 6.25, the best of it for Shohei Kato. You know, Marama yet to really open up on something, but I'm sure in the next 19.5 minutes we're going to see that really change up. Here goes Shohei, looking on an insider that gets pretty bowly, but can't spot the section. Noah, how old were you when you first paddled out to us on? It's a pretty serious wave out there.
Yeah, my first time to surf there was like 4 years old.
4 years?
Yeah, 4 years old. But then, like, I started going out more when I was like 10 or 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're a natural footer. Do you prefer your home break, or is it all about the waves here at Cloud9 for you?
Yeah, I prefer Cloud9. It's my favorite wave to surf, and I just love this wave here.
Yeah, it's...
Well, here goes Shohei again. So rapid fire waves by Shohei. He's not finding any joy at this stage. And kind of Marama's leaving the door a little ajar as well because he hasn't been able to lock in a big number yet. So, you know, the stage is still kind of even Stevens, really. Marama, we've seen it time and time again in his heats, Justin, and he did it to you the other day, Noah. He can get two really good scores inside a minute, and we saw him surf about a 2-minute heat the other day, Justin. He had like 4 waves in just rapid fire and had huge totals.
Well, we saw it in the free surf this morning. We got up early and Marama's little head popped up and big smile, and I think he caught about 8 waves in about 10 minutes. And
6 of them were barrels.
So he knows this reef really well, and, you know, I think he's finely tuned with his equipment and, yeah, popped up and disappeared pretty quick smart and pretty much, you know, ruled the roost in the lineup for that 10 minutes I saw him.
So, Noah, what are your goals? Would you like to be a top-level pro surfer? Where are you heading?
Yeah, my goals is to be in the Challenger Series. I want to qualify, but right now my main goal is to win here at Cloud9.
Oh, yeah, I like it. I like it. Well, you just tidy up a little bit, and I can see you being in a final perhaps next year. A nice air reverse there by Shohei Kato, who's trying to improve on just a 3. So a really good thing as well when you sit here, Noah, is you get to see how many different ways people can win, how many different ways and how easy it can be to lose. So a good little learning curve to watch some heats from the hot seat right here. You can see Shohei's throwing everything at it. A little completion right there might improve on his backup number. But yeah, I guess at this level, you know, you've got to be gnarly. You've definitely got the skill set, what we saw this week with you. It was just that mini little incompletion on your air reverse yesterday that, you know, at big-time professional surfing events, they're the little differences that make a big difference.
Yeah, thank you. That was just so close. I really wanted to make that, but just couldn't ride out.
Yeah. You slapped the water in frustration. Have you played that wave over in your head again? Did you think, oh, maybe I should have gone for a turn rather than the air reverse, or have you played it back in your head and stomped it clean and taken the win?
Yeah, like after my heat, I just went straight to my phone, watched the replay, and even tonight and this morning, I still kept watching.
Did you lose any sleep over that last night?
Yeah, a little.
Nah, mate, you were right in the hunt, so congratulations. A feather in your cap to get that close to John Mark Tokong, who we've just seen ride yet another wave. So he's still only got a 4 as his #1 score. He's having a look at his board, checking his fins. Not sure what's going on, but maybe a little malfunction. He's got top priority, which is good news. He needs a 7.6 at this stage to become a finalist. Shohei sitting pretty. He's improved his two-wave total, Juddo, via that 5.35.
Yeah, he's got a wicked air game, and here he goes again. This is underneath priority. He's going to take to the sky. Oh, almost. Threw that one around into the flats, unable to ride out, but we saw it yesterday. He got an excellent score for a big
8.25,
big tweaked out rotation.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to try and just repeat the dose in this semi-final number 2. So right now, the defending champion back against the wall ever so slightly. Under 15 minutes requires a 7.60. We're joined by Noah Arkfeld in the hot seat, a guy who has posted a best ever result here on his local break. Noah, who are some of the other kids that we can expect to see come through this event in the coming years? You know, who are some of the younger kids that, you know, might not have done so well in the event but surf really good out here at Cloud9?
Yeah, there's lots of upcoming younger surfer kids that are doing really good now. Like one of my best friends, Troy Espion. He's been doing really good. Also his brother, Toby Espion. Oh, here goes Shohei. Straight there, but
well, he's not leaving any ramp unattended, is he? Anyway, go ahead, continue with who you think the next Cloud9 king.
Yeah, so like those two brothers, Toby and Troy, they're like the next upcoming really good surfers.
And what are your thoughts on Sky Brown? Actually, we'll come back to that as we see Marimar racing down the line.
Oh. Well, difficult landing. Geez, that was a bit of an ankle buster, but he's going for it big time. We know his air game is to die for. He's now got himself into a situation where something's got to stick shortly, I feel, Juddo, just to remain in touch and to have that confidence and just to really get his campaign booted because, 17 minutes in the water for John Matokong, only putting together a 4 and a 3.65 is not his best work.
No, but we know he's very capable of, much better things. The defending champion, he'll be looking to make the final, but he'll need to stick one of these airs pretty soon because right now the Japanese surfer in the red, Shohei Kato, has done a pretty good job. He's taken to the air as we sort of predicted that he would, so it's time for Marimar to match him above the lip, or I just think the conditions are just a little bit too crumbly for the barrel to really come into play. I think he's going to have to get the score on a tube.
He goes Shohei. So winding up now, looking to improve on a 5.35, gives it a nice slap in the pocket. Little whip back around to stay in the power zone and leave John out the back to contemplate these next 12.5 minutes. A 7.6 is kind of starting to look like a big number. We know John Markey is most capable, but I really feel he's got to nail something before we get inside the 10 minutes to just ease a bit of nerves. Juddo, I don't care who you are, surely about now. Some questions. Here we go. Whoa. Right on cue.
Wow.
Is this the biggest wave we've seen in the semi-final, Juddo?
I think it was. It was definitely well overhead for Marimar. He's not a massive dude, but that was he was standing tall in that barrel. And, maybe he's a momentum surfer. He seems to really sort of just like to catch a lot of waves. This is the last wave of Shohei's. Don't think it's going to go to his top two. Just a series of forehand maneuvers there. But that was critical on the takeoff and travelled behind the curtain for some time.
Yeah, no, I liked it. Biggest wave ridden so far. It was a pretty critical takeoff. Definitely going to be his best number. It's a 4.6. So the judges are still demanding some more action after the barrel from John. They perhaps really want to see his air game.
Yep.
But I really liked it. Perfect positioning on the takeoff. To fall in a tube like that, you'd be coming in thinking, we got 8s, Justin.
Yep. For us, it would definitely be an 8 or a 9, but this is a very high level event and the judges definitely hold that top end of the scale in pretty high regard. Noah, what feels better, stomping a big aerial maneuver or getting a really deep barrel? What do you prefer?
Oh, that's a good one.
Both on the same wave.
Yeah, both would be good, but yeah, big air would be...
Well, here comes one right now. Oops. Okay. Noah, do you have sponsors?
Yeah, I have sponsors. My main sponsor right now is Bagtik Surfers,
All right.
which is run by Kong Bingo Matugas.
Yep, we had a chat with him yesterday.
Yeah, they've been sponsoring me like my last QS events that I've been going to, like Japan, India, and Indonesia. Bagtik Surfers was the one who covered my whole trip.
Thank you, Congressman Bingo Matugas.
Thank you very much. I'm so grateful for that.
And I'm just making a way down for the women's final up next with her super caddy, Philmar Alapeo. How much do you look up to surfers like Philmar and John Mark? Are they like your heroes?
Yeah, I like surf with them every day and hang out with them. And also Marama, I've been traveling him with the QS sometimes.
Does he help you with tactics and little words of encouragement to help you improve?
Yeah, he's been helping me some during like competitions, like when we're together.
What do you think the main thing you've learnt out of your little first few QS events this year? What are the main takeaways that you've picked up on?
One thing that I learned is like you don't have to be like super aggressive all the time. Like being patient also.
Have a look at your mate's wave here. Take us through John's ride.
Marama. Ooh, nice turn, but can't make it.
Well, he's fallen off a few times in this heat, which is a little uncharacteristic. He's caught himself now 9 waves. His best scores are only still living in the 4-point range, so there's still plenty in the tank, we feel, from John Mark. He's got 8 minutes 40 to click into gear here. He's lucky that the requirement hasn't blown too far out. It's now only a 7. So some little increments forward, but yeah, I really feel he's got to stomp something big soon, Justin.
Yeah, this is, well, I think the whole island's just willing and encouraging him to just lock into a good wave. He knows the reef as well as anyone out here, but right now a little bit of a task ahead of him in the next 8 minutes. And the Japanese surfers, they're so meticulous, they're so disciplined that I'm sure that Shohei's going to really use priority and make sure that John doesn't get the choice of a really good wave if it does pop up.
No, I like what you're saying, Jado. They're well drilled. They're tactically sound. I can see Shohei improving on his 5.35 at some point. So that 7 is a little bit of a misread that John needs. I reckon he's going to need a little bit more than that.
Noah, apart from obviously Philmar and Marama, who are the other surfers you look up to? Who are the surfers that you think, oh, I'd like to have a little bit of that in my surfing? Or, you know, is it a John Florence? Is it a Kelly Slater? Who else do you watch clips of or trying to replicate in your own surfing?
Yeah, there's like a couple young guns here, like Gabriel and Benjamar. Like Gabriel, his style is a bit like John Florence, so I watch him and oh, I want to be like that. And Benjamar also, he has like this crazy air game, like, but he's goofy foot, so I always see him like sending full rotation. So yeah, I look up to them.
Nice. Well, I'm saying a little bit of nerves. We've just seen a left ridden there by Marama, so
that was a little moment.
Yeah,
not
maybe
sure about that. We haven't seen any good left scored that really count the whole week. So perhaps really, yeah, just starting to stress a little there. I don't know. You'd know John Mark better than us guys. Does he stress during a heat or?
Yeah, I think he gets stressed sometimes, but out here at Cloud 9, I think he's pretty much relaxed because he knows this wave and he knows which wave to take and which one's like gonna give him the score.
Well, he needs a 7, either that or 2 waves that are going to better 11.6. Shohei's had priority for some time, so he's just making sure that he blocks and takes the next best wave off John Mark. So he's playing a pretty tactically good, run through his semi-final. I'm liking what he's doing. He's well positioned, can easily improve on the 5.35. So he's got the 2 best scores, Justin. That's a good place to be right about now.
Well, here he goes, the local. Unfortunately, has to pull through the back of that one. So you can see the urgency is increasing for Marama. The defending champion is looking frazzled, I guess, for the first time the whole event. So
a little rattled.
Yeah,
a little rattled for me because you look how many waves he's caught. It's highly unlikely that you see him ride What do we got? 11 waves, and he's only put together a couple of 4s, and the rest are all just super low scores. So the wheels have not clicked right now for Maramar. If you could get in his ear right now, Noah, and offer him a bit of advice, what would you say?
Just wait for the sets and just send it.
Send it. Get barreled.
Yeah.
Get well pitted, young man. Tubes and airs. Tubes and airs, Juddo.
Yep, that's what he's going to have to muster. This angle is really, really cool. A beautiful drone angle. You can see there are a couple little swell lines approaching the boys. Under 5 minutes now, so John Mark Takong is going to have to really send it. Noah Arkfield sending him that message. And we're just hoping to see a couple of fireworks in the back end of this heat. Could be an all-Japanese matchup, or Maramar could have the opportunity to defend his title. 4.5 minutes, we'll know.
Yeah, so Noah, your first time sitting on the webcast. What do you reckon? Pretty easy?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. At first, I was a bit scared.
Oh, that's what I was telling you. Don't be nervous, mate. It's 3 guys talking surfing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we relax, we have fun, and your mates in the event. Good learning curve. When you sit here and watch a lot of heat after heat, man, it's a really good learning curve to sit here and break down heats, because you really fully focus on exactly what's going on. So why don't you take us through Shohei's wave, please, Noah?
Shohei goes for the air, but can't make it.
I think Shohei needs to be a little careful here, as Juddo as well. He's leaving the door open for John, and John probably doesn't need much more of an invite than going, okay, we're down to 3 minutes.
Priority's yours.
Priority is yours now. Over to you, John Martin, defending champ. Needs a 7. He's got to answer the challenge now. 3.5 minutes. I'm sensing he's probably got one more roll of the dice.
Yeah, well, we just need to see a good wave pop up, and you know that Maramar will be on it. He has got to be patient, but he's also got to be very clean in his approach. Whatever he chooses to do, it has to happen soon, because time is slowly but surely ticking away. These guys have caught a bunch of waves. Shohei's up to 14 waves ridden.
Wow, look at him too. He's right on top of John. Not giving him any an inch to have a free roam around. He knows he's got the defending champ a little bit on the ropes here, so he's just staying right in his face, going, I'm still here and I'm still leading, and you need the best score of this semi-final.
Well, it's quite a tactic to sit deeper.
No, he's just you know, ghosting him right here. He wants to make sure that Maramar doesn't get his full run and things like he normally does out in the lineup.
You can't really get much closer than that, can you?
He's been doing that ever since he paddled back out. So this is a tactic. This is stuff you see, Noah, at top-level professional surfing. You know, just being gnarly. It's in the rules. You're allowed to do that. And Red is just giving John something to really think about. He's trying to throw him off his game a little bit with these tactics of just staying right there. So use it, young man. You can be bossy. You're allowed to do these sort of things. So long as blue paddles for a wave, though, you got to back off and just kind of
let him have it.
Let him use his priority. But while there is no priority and no waves coming, this little tactic that Shohei's employing here just shows how gnarly a competitor he is, Juddo, because I liked it.
Well, he has been, you know, really on point, and as we've said, they're well versed, they're very well trained, and they're super disciplined in their approach. So the Japanese surfers, we've got one in the women's final. We've already got one man awaiting the winner of this heat on the men's side of the draw. So, yeah, this Asian region, we've been talking about it all event, is, you know, being dominated by Japanese surfers. And I think it's little things like this, the 1%ers that they're putting in behind the scenes that...
that's a training drill right there, you know, and there's something that Shohei's probably learnt over the years of being a gnarly QS warrior. That you're allowed to do these sort of things. Now he's got to back off and he's got to let John Mark have a full swing at this, Justin.
Well, eyeing up a section, goes for it, big straighty, he stomps it. 1 minute to go. That was a pretty big air.
What do you reckon, Noah? You're a bit of an air master.
Yeah.
Is that every bit of the 7?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got it.
The tower's going nuts. There's his missus and his daughter. Huge moment. Could be the big turning point here in our second men's semi-final.
Wow.
Noah, I'm going to ask you, what sort of score goes with that sort of air?
Here's the replay.
What do you reckon, Noah?
Yeah, it should be up there 7 or could go up to the excellent range.
Oh.
Like you call, they threw an 8.25 for one big air yesterday, so he got a huge pop here. Look how high he is. Lots of hang time, stomped the landing, nailed the claim.
What more do you want? Are you not entertained?
Yes, give me a 7.
Wow. Noah, what's harder, a straight air like that or doing a rotation? Look at the numbers starting to lock in.
He's got another wave here, folks. Quick up and down. We're at 4 seconds, so that will be the last wave ridden.
A 7.75. He gets the number. So, oh, ladies and gentlemen, clutch performance.
Oh, my God. Well, Noah, that was really cool. Quick something in Siargao 9 about that result, and then we'll let you go.
Sa Taran Siargao noon, nakadaog si Marama sa ija last hit. Nakuha ni ang score sa last like 30 seconds. So, kay na ato Pinoy sa final, ato defending champion, kaon gapon. Salamat karado sa ijo tanan.
Noah, that was great. Thank you very much, and well done to John Mark Tokong. Juddo, it's finals time.
Woohoo, look at the
everyone's got nuts.
area going off. I'm going to go and try and chat to Marimar. And
you may or may not have time, but try, and we'll come back in a moment with the women's final.
All right.
Smart Super Value Deals. Enjoy Powerall's 8 GB for all apps, plus only TikTok.
Or magic data that doesn't expire. Tara! Smart eSIM na!
Smart Super Value Deals.
All right, game on. Women's final, 35 minutes. We've been rolling for 2 of those minutes. It's absolute mayhem out there on the tower and on the boardwalk. John Mark Tokong gets over the line by 0.75. And I've got Ty Sarati here with me for the moment. Ty, what an insane finish to the men's semi-finals.
What a finish. I feel like he can just pull it out whenever he wants to. He had a few throws at the stumps there and then finally got it on that last wave. Yeah, he is the master out here.
All right, we've got True coming back in to do some duties as well. We'll get you in the middle, True. And yeah, look, that was insane. That was intense finish, and you could see what it meant to the local Filipinos who were all out there on the tower. It was absolute pandemonium because their hero and the defending champion is in the final. He's won 3 of these events out here, so he's the most winningest surfer with a Rashi on at C9. True, were you out there when that went down just then?
I was actually over at Shaka waiting for a smoothie. And
did Shaka go nuts?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was... yeah, I was going pretty crazy. All the work, I still haven't got my smoothie. All the workers were watching. They were so intently focused. I was like, okay, I'm not going to get this for a little while because they were just wanting to make sure that Marimar got the score on that last wave.
Tools down.
Yeah, absolutely. It was tools down, and you know, I don't blame him. That was a pretty excellent finish.
Well, even just the response we got in here out of once that number dropped, I couldn't imagine what it was like on the tower. And Shaka has a full view of the ocean, the lineup as well. So a big moment, but. Look, our women's final is a battle of the goofy footers. Sky Brown, fresh off a skateboard into a rash vest, doing the surfing gig, is made a final, the very first final. And here is the winning wave again of John Mark Tokong. So let's have a look at this from the drone view. Here comes the hang time, front hand grab, stomps it, nails it, claim, 7.75, clutch moment. It doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, that was pretty insane. And, you know, to go for that and to ride out was, Yeah, it was next level. I remember I heard them all, and then I was like, okay, something's really good has just gone down. So I ran to the screen and saw it. It was pretty next level.
And young Sky Brown, we saw her there in the red. She's up against, well, the gnarliest competitor on the Asian women's side of the draw because she is leading the rankings. But that's a winner's grin. The defending champ is going to be Selfie City right now. He's in huge demand. He's an absolute royalty out here at Cloud9.
I think he may have so many selfies that he might struggle to make the next final. He has that many fans out there. It's insane.
He's probably just got to get his rashi and get straight back in the water.
Well, that was Anon just starting off her campaign in this final. 35-minute finals. We are started. Sky Brown has a priority now. She was a great force to be reckoned with in her semi-final. So was Anon. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this one plays out.
It's probably going to be a battle of the big backhand belt. Coming around that corner, around the pocket, stabbing it right in the right up above the lip. Boom, just like that.
Yeah, that was sick.
Yep. So Anon's off to a pretty good start here. Marimar could probably keep his blue rashi on and just get back off the boardwalk. It's pretty hectic down there. It's going to be hard for him. He's got to now just refocus. That was a big moment, all right, but unfinished business for John Mark. Defending champ, of course he wants the 3,000 points, languishing at 48th. We touched on earlier, Ty, so... on home ground, you've got to be thinking he was always wants to bank those 3,000 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been there before. He knows how to win it, so it'll be exciting final.
Yeah, it'll be good. And Joe as well, this whole event, he's been looking really on point. He's third in the rankings. So this is an important, result for him. Sky Brown. Nice single turn there for Sky, and she gets out. First wave of Anon was a 4.5, so...
All right, so the judges have set their scale now for the women's final. So a couple of good belts there for Anon, a 4.50. So the judges still leaving plenty of room in the scale to go north. They want to see a big combination of big backhand blasts. What was Sky's best wave? It was an 8, wasn't it? An 8 and a 7.75, I think she got. So... she just needs to stay on form for what she showed throughout her semi-final. And Anon probably needs to ride a couple more waves.
Yeah, but she's got the leg up in this final right now, 4.5.
Okay, we better cross to Justin, who's got Marimar for a brief moment. So over to you, Juddo.
I'm here with Marimar. What an unbelievable performance. A buzzer beater. What did you think when you took off on that wave?
Oh, well, for me, because I need like a 7, so I really have to, try to push myself to do like an air, like a straight air, like with a grab, because the wind doing an air, it's like in a different direction. So I just like, okay, this is the last chance. I need to get this wave and do some airs. So when I land that air, I was like, oh, I think I got it. Like, wow, so happy for that one.
So happy. This whole place erupted. It was amazing to see. The opportunity to now defend your title and become the most winning surfer here at Cloud9. How are you feeling?
Oh, I feel so happy right now. I'm so stoked. To all the people here right now, they're just like here to support me, and to all my family, to my friends, to my fans. Thank you guys so much. And of course, my little one, my daughter, she's there hiding. My family around here is like, wow, they're here. They're like full support all the time. So full grateful.
Well, not too long before you get out there. We'll keep it short and sharp. Best of luck in the final, and I'm sure all these people will be cheering you on, mate. Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it. See you guys.
All right, back to you guys in the booth. That is Marimar. He's a very happy man right now.
And they're still hooting and hollering out there. It's a party vibe out there on the boardwalk, and within about 1 hour's time, we'll know exactly who both our winners are. So everybody online, do not go anywhere. This is Sky Brown's second effort. A big vertical slap straight away, but an incompletion there. So probably just a 1-point ride for Sky. But wow, isn't he? He just exudes so much happiness and confidence and just royalty on the Cloud9 boardwalk, Ty.
Yeah, he's the people's mayor, that's for sure. He's I'm sure if he wasn't a surfer, he'd be doing well in the political scene here. He's just loved by everybody.
Well, let's wait till he finishes with the rashi, and he might still go there.
Yeah.
All right, so women's final now, ladies and gentlemen. No big numbers right now. A 4.50 for Anon, a couple of nice backhand blasts, but the judges want to see a little bit more risk being taken. Maybe the first section to get utilised a little heavier. Haven't seen too many airs go down on the women's side of the draw, so both these goofy footers, I think their strength is their backhand blast, and this wave really lends towards that quite well. So what are your feelings here, True?
Yeah, I agree. I think both Sky and Anon have put on such an incredible performance throughout this whole event. I'm looking forward to seeing Sky open up on one. Her last two waves seem to be maybe just one turners. They've been running pretty quickly, so she probably just needs to readjust. But Anon, you know, she is the Asia rankings leader for a reason. She has such solid backside attack. So I'm also excited to see her really open up in this heat, because we didn't really get to see her do that in the semi-final.
No, she only rode 2 waves, so that was my first question to her with the post-heat interview, and she's like, yeah, I think I better step that up a little bit during the final. And Sky had an outstanding semi-final to be in this position. We touched on that earlier, an 8 and a 7.75 in really good form going into this. Time will tell whether she surfed a final in the semi-final, but I think Anon's still got plenty that she wants to show here today on finals day.
Yeah, I agree. I think both women have something left in the tank, so hopefully for the next 24.5 minutes they can start to light it up out there.
And Ty, good to be back here with a big 3,000 at C9. I think it is a worthy instalment on the Asian region. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a world-class wave, and to have it as a QS 3000 is doing it justice.
Well, I believe there's been a few whispers as well about next year potentially going up to 5,000. That would be a good thing.
Yeah, there's been some discussions happening. So yeah, that if everything can go to plan, then come back next year for a 5,000, which would be quite nice. Maybe extend the waiting period a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be good. Generally, we're also at the back end of September rolling into October. This year, we've been pushed back a month. Do you think that had anything to do with having small swell right now, or how do you see that?
I think the later in the year you get more swell, but you have a higher increase of bad winds. This year, we've been pretty lucky with the winds. They've been pretty mellow the whole time. But yeah, it's a pretty small window.
Would you be pushing to go back a month like we used to be?
It'll just depend where it sits with the Challenger Series in Europe and Brazil. This year we couldn't clash with Portugal or Brazil, so we had to go just after Brazil finished, and we'd probably be looking at doing something similar again next year.
Should it go up to a 5,000, that'd be good. And I believe there's also rumour of a dual sanctioning getting thrown at that thing.
Yeah, that'd be pretty nice. I'm sure all the Australian and New Zealand competitors wouldn't mind coming back here and surfing this event.
Absolutely. That would be pretty cool. But for the Asian region, it's amazing to see. And, you know, for Anon and Sky, earning the points in the rounds for 3,000, it's, you know, there's 3,000 points on the line. And Anon could extend her position in first on the rankings, or Sky Brown, you know, could really see herself in that top 10.
Well, either way, Joe Azuchi's got a good performance, got a whole bunch of helpful points to drag him up out of. What was he, fourth, did you say, Joe Azuchi?
I think he's in third spot at the moment.
Okay, so he'll be eyeballing a little lift in the ratings, and that would be a good thing. 5 men become automatic Challenger Series surfers at the end of the whole QS rankings at the end of the year. So
yeah, Joe's had a pretty solid year this year. He's performed pretty well at most of the events on tour. I think he just missed out on qualifying for the CS by 1 spot last year, so I'm sure he
deserves it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I guess it's just a real matter of consistency as well, when you've got to put 5 good events together to get into a 5-pack to go into the Challenger Series.
For sure.
Pretty tight.
It's pretty tough, and there's so many good surfers and so many locations you got to visit. It's quite challenging.
Well, Anon up and riding on another one, gets a nice finish. So nothing too special, a bit of a small wave, but just backing up that 4.5 nicely for Anon.
Well, she's caught more waves than she did last time. So that was the theory going into this. It wasn't a great wave, didn't have any real, you know, super critical sections. So meanwhile, Red.
Here's Sky Brown. Not the best looking wave there, and she's pulled off to regain priority over Anon.
And this is the sort of wave, Ty, we just watch this again, a two-turner here for Anon. The judge is still having a little think about it. She's only got to improve on a 2.65 to make that a handy decision. Skies won't, well, Skies probably get rid of her one. But this is the sort of wave where sometimes paddling back out, you can just be in a banging spot, one of those little wedges that just hit off the peak.
Yeah, for sure. When you look at the drone angle, you can see all the wedgy waves, and they don't all hit the same part of the reef, so you can be lucky and jag one off the outside paddling back out.
And True, what have been the highlights for you this week?
It's hard to
food?
say. Yeah, the food's been great. I've loved just being out in the water, to be honest. It's been so nice to go surfing and, you know, lounge around and put the rashi on a couple of times. So yeah, it's been great to just do that and be with all the Japanese and Indonesian competitors.
And on, starting to wind up here now. This is already 2 better moves than her last wave, which scored a 4-point ride. That's better again, so I'm thinking could be Anon's best number. The judges probably won't get too carried away with it, but a little point of difference from what we've seen so far. Good little series of backhand moves.
She's starting to put a little bit of scoreboard pressure on Sky, and Anon has had a big year on the Challenger Series, so she's at a competitive peak, and this is Sky's first final, so I'm wondering if she's feeling a little nervous here in the first final.
That's such a good point, because there is such a huge difference in the experience variables between these two surfers. Someone that's been there and done that and done it all and still only at 17 years of age. So we're watching again the backhand blasting attack here, so pretty good. And the judges throw a 5 at that, so yes, the best wave of this semi, of the final, but not a huge number.
Yeah, I think they're leaving more room in the scale. They know both Sky and Anon can open up on some better looking sections and get some better looking turns done. So, you know, I think for Sky Brown, her wave selection hasn't been that good at the start of this final. But I feel like once she just kind of fine-tunes that a little bit, she can really drop some good scores like we saw in her semi.
You know, and I think one thing that Sky should be thinking about right now is she did it in the last heat. She got it 2 ways really quickly. So I really think that she's just got to dig deep there and just remain in her own mindset and just stay focused on her immediate process, which is just do what I did before. The judges love my big backhand hangers. I've just got to find the waves and just finish them.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a lot easier said than done, but that's pretty much how you're going to do it. I agree. So 18 minutes to go in this final, almost halfway down. And almost halfway to finding out who the winner of the 27th Siargao International Surfing Cup will be. All
right, so Anon's been there and done all this before. She's been making steady increments on her 2-wave total. She's only got a 9.2, 9.5 as the 2 scores, but that's the move Sky Brown can do so well.
Yeah, she did a couple of those in the semi-finals, and that was a nice turn. The wave kind of petered out a little bit, so she didn't get another opportunity to do a big turn, but I'm sure the judges will reward that first turn.
I still think it was the best turn of the final. A real nice connection here. Watch how much board she gets above the lip. Boom. Little tail blast out the back, and just added also just a little cut back to give the judges something else to think about. But for me, I think that was the best turn. So let's see if the judges agree and where this number sits. There's plenty of room to go above Anon's 5, and it's just a smidge above the 5. So it becomes the best wave of the final at a 5.1. So Sky Brown is well and truly now back in the conversation. A 4.4 is not a big ask.
No, it's not. And with 17 minutes to do it, I feel like, you know, she's going to have plenty of time. But I do think that this final has a bit more of a story to tell.
Yep.
I think we'll see some more lead changes, some better waves coming through. So Anon on an answer back here, just has to pull through the back of that one at running a little bit too fast.
Quite bowly, that wave.
Yeah,
it was, wasn't it? Yeah, it just ran off a little bit too much for her to make sense of it all. But the waves are there. There's only 2 ladies in the lineup. So Sky now will have to dig into her waterman skills, locate a great wave. The judges are loving her backhand blast. I think she really surfs with a lot of speed, and really gets, you know, more than half a board above the lip, which is a good cue for the judges that that's a solid manoeuvre.
And then bust the fins out a lot of the time as well. So
skateboarding tweak.
Yeah.
Out go the wheels. So she's got that dialed in. Geez, I'd imagine there'd be some tense moments out there on the tower right now with Team Brown in the corner, and the Japanese surfers generally stick around and watch their countrymen surf.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Sky Brown up and riding, looking for a 4.4. Nice first turn for Sky. Again for a second one. That's a score pretty much straight away, in my opinion.
Into the lead.
Yeah, I liked that from Sky Brown.
Harry shaking his head. Come on, Harry. Remain neutral, brother. All right, so she needed a 4-4. I can see a lead change happening once that number drops.
We heard some cheering over there, and I was like, oh, I wonder what that is. And it was Marimar just running past his fan club, but Anon on a pretty good looking wave tie.
Yeah, this looks like the biggest wave of the heat so far, and that was a big first turn, and followed it up with the second. This is on the way to being a good score, no doubt.
Trying to burn off a 4-5, all right. I'm not sure what the requirement is. We haven't had that wave of Skies drop yet, but I think it was a pretty good ride by both girls in the scheme of things. Numbers will be improved upon. 4.95 goes into Sky's top 2. This is the last ride.
I think maybe the judges just held back as the wave was small. Yeah, it was a smaller wave. So I'm interested to see where this wave of Anon fits in with being the biggest wave and two
Bowley.
pretty big turns.
Yeah, Bowley. So
can see this being the best wave of the heat.
I think so as well, Ty. Good call.
7 locks in straight away for Anon.
Yeah.
Well-deserved claim there. I was like, oh, Anon.
Yeah.
Don't see too much emotion from Anon.
No, she's pretty soft-spoken. I was lucky to get to know her throughout all the Aussie events, and she's actually very funny. She's a great character, always smiling. So it's cool to see that.
Yeah, she has the biggest smile,
does, right? So it's cool to see the passion.
Yeah, absolutely. And this heat's on now.
Well, 2 points separating first and second, which leaves Sky now chasing just about 7 points, a smidge under 7, to go back into the favourable first position. 13.5 minutes for Anon to hold on here. Her immediate thinking would be to improve on that 5. But she'll be brimming with confidence via that 7 because she waited. She finally got the best wave that's come through in the final. So she had priority at the right time, got rewarded by picking up the absolute best wave, and then just went about her business. Connecting those first 2 turns was pretty much most of that score. So well played, Anon, and a deserved winner right now. Here we go again.
Yeah, Anon up and riding on another one, straight up into the lip, releasing the fins off the back, hard carve for a second turn, and she gets out of that one. I liked it. I don't know where it'll sit compared to her 5, but you know, she didn't have priority, so she could kind of play around with that.
Keeping busy.
Yeah, keeping busy, which, you know, we didn't see her do in the last heat, so change of tactic.
So this is the replay, Ty?
Yeah, probably won't go into her top 2.
A little sleepy when you look at the replay. The wave just didn't have as much energy as some of her other rides, so the judges only throw a 4.4 at that. And fair enough. So the Japanese surfer is now leading Sky Brown, who surfs for Great Britain, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
Okay. But she lives half-time in, Japan and America as well, is she?
Yeah, I think she's just a person of the world. She's
no fixed address.
Yeah, I don't think
this
so.
year. She got a taste of Krui and Indonesian action. I don't think she's gone home since.
Yeah.
taking mum and dad on a surfing holiday.
Between the skateboarding and surfing, I think she's traveling to most countries around the world and surfing or skating or just hanging out, living the dream.
Yeah, seriously.
She is.
That'd be pretty nice.
Yeah.
And what is she, 14?
I think 15.
15?
Yeah.
Man, imagine having that lifestyle of the rich and famous at such a young age. And huge fan base. A lot of people follow her on the socials. So here we go now. Sky Brown looking to... hang on. We'll lose priority right there. So a little learning curve here for Sky. And there it is. Priority switches to Anon. So that's kind of a bit of a no-no when you're surfing 2-person heat. If you're going to go for a wave, you've got to make sure you get it. But
yeah, that's just, I guess, maybe the inexperience in this pointier end of the draw. This is her first final appearance.
This is how you learn, you know.
Exactly. You know, you learn as you go, and even the most experienced of competitors still make mistakes like that. So, you know, you got to brush it off. You can't really hold on to things like that, otherwise it could affect the next 11 minutes. But for Sky, you know, she is a competitor above her years, I believe. So I feel like, you know, we haven't seen the last of her yet in this heat.
Oh, she's only just getting still got plenty of time to show us her stuff here, but just basically getting her career started with the surfing rash vest on and learning on the fly. She's made a final in her first year of competition, so, you know, there is a real lot to like about where Sky Brown is heading. And she's learning off the best in the business right now from Anon as well. So this would be a free surf lesson.
Absolutely. It's kind of scary to think of how much upside there is in these young competitors making finals at 15 and 17 for Anon. Yeah, it's pretty exciting to see where they end up.
Look, women's surfing has been evolving so fast over the year. You know, in the last decade or even 5 years, you know, they've made huge improvements. And I think the world's really stood up and taken notice as well, because they're so entertaining now. Here we go. So, and on a little bit of a malfunction there and on the wave choice. So
gives priority back to Sky and leaves the door open for the last 9.5 minutes to the heat.
So you would be thinking, and I might have been a little bit more patient in that regard. It looked like just a straight closeout, but you know, nerves can do strange things to people. Here we go.
Ooh, okay, Sky straight up and into it for that one. Gets a bit of a steeper section, maybe a bit more of a check turn, but lines it up for that one and gets a finish and even a bonus section for Sky. She throws so much spray, just groveling that one through to the inside. So.
And rode it in front of Anon, so she'll be paddling back out.
And I would have seen that turn.
Yep.
It was a pretty sick turn as well. So mind games are going on. Plenty out there with 9 minutes to go, everybody. 26 minutes has evaporated here in the women's final. Here is again. So firstly, quite a critical takeoff into a big backhand whip. And then lots more work down the line here. Still pretty strong manoeuvres on a minimal size wave there. So Sky Brown connecting the dots really well here. The judges are taking a bit of time to think about this. It's going to be super close, I think, once that number drops.
Yeah, it was a 6 for that last wave of Sky. I really liked it. I think that first section, it was a solo turn, but she didn't actually connect like 100% perfectly, like we saw her do in that last heat, which I think is why it was a 6
compared to
and not
Anon
an
7. Compared to Anon 7.
Compared to that, you know, and comparing her surfing between the semi and the final as well. But I think, you know, Sky, she's getting herself back into this heat. She now needs a 6.01, which is slightly better than what she has now. So she's well and truly capable of doing that.
Game on. 8 minutes, everybody. Do not go anywhere. It is Anon, the Matsuoka, famous Japanese surfer, leading the Asian rankings. Getting a serious challenge now from Sky Brown, the youngster, the new lady on the block, doing the rounds and really taking it to one of the most experienced campaigners on the women's side of the draw. The ocean looks like it might be starting to play ball here. This is looking like a pretty good looking wave for me. And Anon wants every piece of this.
Yeah, Anon turns and a bit of a late drop. Looks like she might have been a little deep on that one though.
Oh, what a pity that thing ran off.
It did.
That was kind of an A-grade wave that goes to waste. What do you reckon, True?
Yeah, I think Anon was a little bit deep. It's probably easier to slide into a tube on your forehand out there, especially if you don't have that much backside experience. But
talking about sliding into tubes, I think this man right here, hopefully he can find a couple in the final.
I'm sure he will.
Down he goes with his caddy.
If there's any out there, I'm sure he will find one.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. It's a big morning down here at Siargao Cloud 9. Finals day will be done by just after 10:30. John Mark, you could see him just taking a moment from all the hype and, you know, the hysteria of winning through to the final the way he did. Time to settle the nerves, get rid of all that outside noise, regroup, go through the process one more time. So we've still got a little bit more business to sort out here. Less than 1 point separating these two. And I'm with a minor lead due to the fact she's caught the best wave of the heat.
Yeah, and Anon's been coached by local legend Phil Ma this event. Wonder what little words of advice that he gave her before this heat.
Well, he's very passionate out in the water as well. I was out there in the quarterfinal and Anon was in the one before, and sit here and go further out. Not this one, go the next one. So, you know, he was very vocal out there giving the support, and even for, I'm pretty sure Sumomo was also in that quarterfinal, and he was very vocal for Sumomo too, saying go this one or sit deeper. So it was great to see him, you know, really support all the...
Nice little double up presents itself. One of those ones that push a little wide there, Ty, off the page.
Yeah, you can see from the drone angle that the waves don't all break in the same spot, and sometimes those wide ones can really stand up along the reef and be quite good scores.
Just a little bit of a mixed up swell going on here. Jerry was saying yesterday this wave does its best work with more of an east swell. So a bit of a peaky swell right there. We can see Joe just getting the leg rope on there. About to go and do business out here at Cloud 9. I'm sure he's pretty stoked. He's in the final. He's got an opportunity to bank 3,000 points right here. He's just got to capitalise on these his 35-minute matchup. 2 good waves, Joe, and you can take 3,000 points into your campaign.
I think he said he was riding an epoxy yesterday, but looks like he's back on the PU today.
Yeah, I think he's on a DNA. I was talking to him a little bit earlier. DHD DNA that he's riding, and his boards look really good under his feet.
They do look very nice.
So 4.5 minutes in this final, and then we'll have our first finalist crowned, either Anon or Sky. I've been really liking this final so far, and Sky only needs a 6.01, so you know there's still opportunity for Sky to take the lead, and even Anon to just back it up. And here she had a little look, but she didn't have priority. So.
No, I think we're well positioned for a ripping finish here. I'm pretty confident they'll both get at least one more opportunity to upgrade their totals. Sky just a 6.01 needed to win, and on trying to improve on that 5, and she's been trying to do that for some time. So she needs to put her best foot forward now. This is where, you know, reputations are won and lost right here. Anon holding on. I'm sure she would really love to get rid of that 5.
I'm sure Sky's no... I'm sure she is no slouch to confidence and nervousness competing at the Olympics for... I think she won a silver medal or a bronze medal.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if...
How crazy is that?
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, 15.
Seriously.
So she's been in the heat of competition, although on a different sport. But you know, the process and the mindset remains the same at any elite sport. So she's already had a taste of that and held a nerve, you know, as a skateboarder. Now just got to try and transfer that, which the theory is the same. Stay positive, stay focused, and just only work on what you need to do.
The only thing with surfing is you have to get the wave to come to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the skate pole doesn't remain the same, does it?
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, there's things that you can't control with surfing, whereas skating, you know, you can control like where you want to, I guess, hit the bowl, and you practice in the bowl, whereas out here it's ever changing, it's ever different, and Sky needs to adapt to that, and she seems like she's doing it pretty well.
Yeah.
Yep, so the process remains the same, but the playing field has changed for Sky. But she likes what she sees, and she's having a real dig at this year's QS, maybe by default. She went to Korea and went, hang on, I think I might do a few more. So we're the beneficiaries of that, and the whole world is watching what Sky can do on a surfboard. And as we were saying earlier, she's getting a surf lesson here by Anon Matsuoka in how to surf a final. Point of difference being that one set wave that Anon got. Biggest wave, really bowly. The 7-point ride is about the difference right here at the moment. Had she not got that wave, I think it would be Sky in the lead.
Looks like there's a bit of a set coming from the drone view.
It always looks like that though, especially on a peaky swell. And even when you're free surfing, you know, you can see something come, and then as you go over the swell, the one that you were looking at just slides under and becomes a nothing. So it can be a little tricky.
Looks like they've seen something and they're heading further out the back. They'll both probably get one more opportunity, so it could be an exciting finish.
Anon just trying to sell Sky onto something there, and Sky just needs to remain composed. Stressful moments for both women.
So 2 of those waves slide under and become
It's like Sky's going to
non-events.
have a crack at this one. She takes off, comes off the bottom. Pretty nice turn there and follows it up with another. The wave just dies out a little bit. She gets one more tap in. Body language doesn't seem like she thinks she got it.
First impressions for me, I think a little under. I think that first turn, perhaps not as vertical, or, you know, the fin's not out as much as some of her other moves. Just here it is again. What do you think, True?
Yeah, it was a solid section. She tagged it nicely and then gets a second one. I think, I don't know, it's really hard. I think it's probably more around her 5.1 range. But, you know, 6.01 is not out of the question. Some scores are starting to drop in. 4.9, it's not enough for Sky. And with 15 seconds to go, she's not out the back yet. Looks like Anon might get a little bit of a victory lap here because it looks like she's just taken out the event.
I think she has, ladies and gentlemen. So Team Japan and Anon Matsuoka makes huge inroads into her Challenger Series inclusion next year. Here she is, just riding in now. Job well done. You know, you would look at her smile right there. That is surely some toothpaste company picks her up in the future because she's got you know, just this epic smile going on. That was just well done. I'm gonna clap and shake my hand and clap my hand. I'm gonna shake your hand, please. Ty Sarati, True, let's hang in there, you and me. We've got the men's final coming up in a moment, so we'll be back right after this short break, everybody. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, and the big news, Anon Matsuoka has just won the women's side of the draw. She hasn't even got back up to the tower yet, but look at this smile, Justin. That is a winning smile. Oh, that is an amazing result for her, and yeah, a really close little final there. It sort of went down to the wire, but yeah, with Filma in her corner, that is a very relieved and very happy young lady from Japan. Look at these two mug shots. Joe Azuchi right there in the red is in the final Team Japan, and the defending champion Jean-Marc Tokong is in familiar territory, mate, in yet another final. Yeah, super, super exciting. All right, True Starling just back on duties as well. So we're just about done, you guys. You know, 7 days we've been here rolling out this event, the iconic Cloud9 event. Jean-Marc Tokong, here he goes, Juddo. Yeah, ducking behind the curtain, gets a nice cover up. And this guy is clutch. He left it down to the final 30 seconds. Azuchi now from Japan. Yep, wise move, Joe. Kicks out, wants to get priority. Yep, why not? So a good way to start by John, a nice thread there with a heavy whip and rebound going on his first manoeuvre. So the stage is set, 33 minutes remain, a wave apiece. I think we're going to try and get Anon up here onto the webcast with us as well, so that'll be pretty cool. Couple of numbers to drop in. Here's the replay of Marimar's perfect position. It was a small little tube, but he is good enough out here to find an exit. Nice wrapping manoeuvre,
And just the one slicing turn there for Joe. Saw where Marimar was and goes, nah, I'm going to get priority. This is not the wave I like.
Wise move. And, you know, what works well for John Mark as well, those small, tight tubes. He's super quick to his feet and he's small in stature.
Yeah, it's... I was doing the interview with him and...
yeah, I know. You need to put him on a chair next time, Jado, surely.
The milk crate, here he goes. Winds up.
Oh! My goodness.
Well, the whole beach has just gone nuts, ladies and gentlemen. We'll stay with Joe Azuchi before we get back to that. Look at the fins out there for Joe. Sick. So good answer back. Joe now starting to get his groove on, and John Mark just went ballistic.
He certainly did. So there is...
Hang on, still hasn't got out of the water at the moment.
Should I go have a chat with her? I reckon. I want to go.
She might just want to stay out there. So go on then.
Yeah, I
do
reckon.
That through, please, and let's get some fresh words from her right now. So go to it. Woo.
Yeah, I think it's really cool to capture the feelings and emotions straight after an event win like that. So super excited to hear True Starling talk with our women's champion here at the Siargao International Surfing Cup. This is the big air that we saw Marimar stomp. He was very much on the front part of the board, but that was really good control.
Yep, good amount of height and pop here as well. Watch this, boom. A little bit of a wobble on reconnection, but makes it count. Kind of disguised it really well. And Joe Azuchi now also just chipping away at some low numbers. Not enough to be wanting in your score line, but I like the 6.25 there for Marimar's big air. The judges have been rewarding the heavy airs all week.
They certainly have. This is the replay of Azuchi's 3.75. So right now he's got a little bit of work to do. These guys, it's been rapid fire action. It is John Mark Takong, the defending champion, a 6.25 and a 4.0. And he is so fortunate to be in the final. Went down to the final seconds against another Japanese surfer, but Joe Azuchi, a former ISA gold medalist in the World Juniors. He is a very capable competitor, but he's going to have to put his best foot forward if he's going to take out this title from the local legend.
All right, 30 minutes. There's the Sky and Anon still just going through some pleasantries down there in the water. That is being shot from the boardwalk. There's a lot of people up there, so these two are going to get hounded to pieces once they hit the boardwalk, mate. The cameras are going to be out, snapping selfies left, right and centre.
Oh, are they ever? It's a very passionate surfing crowd here and a lot of excitement for finals day. I'm stoked to be alongside my good friend Mark Clift, and mate, it has been an epic event. We were last here together back in 2018, but mate, my bucket is overflowing. I've had that many good memories in the last 7 days. Been able to get some surfs in, call some amazing surfing action, and this lady will leave with an absolute bucket full of memories as well.
Well, it's what you came here for, mate, you know, to bank these points. A good payday to go alongside it as well, and probably some more fan base along the way when you win an event like this the way she did. Really, you know, I love what she does. She's so cool.
Yeah, so cool. Always smiling and a very, very pleasant part of the Asian surfing series.
There's
is that
Mumsy
lady on screen?
Yeah, that's a mum travelling together.
Yep.
So cool. Good things are going on here on finals day, and the script is kind of going John Mark's way early on in this final. A 6.25 is kind of a keeper, Justin, at this stage, but Joe has no keepers.
Yeah. I think Marimar's just channeling that energy and that excitement. The whole boardwalk was absolutely buzzing when he came in. The thing was rocking the newly set foundations, and yeah, there was a fair bit of excitement going on. And here we go, a nice looking wave approaching. Blue does have priority, and he is going to go
into the tube. Oh yeah. All right, some rail work now. Boom, crunches a heavy hit after the barrel. All right, so really loved the tube, loved the big hit. I think for sure Another strong number about to come for John. He does that so well. The takeoff straight into the tube is just as good as it gets.
It is. Well, we watched the replay. Quick to his feet and completely disappeared there.
And that, boom,
and bang, beautiful first turn.
Yep, way over the heat for me. Two really good things to like: the tube and the big hit. Lots of power and timing, absolutely exquisite on the turn. Really picks the right waves. Time to answer back now for Joe.
Yeah, here we see Japanese surfer in the red. Knows he's got to take to the air. He can feel the scoreboard pressure, and the score that is just locked in is an absolute keeper, a 7.50 for the defending champion. He extends on first place, and a perfect score required for Joe Azuchi if he is going to move into the lead.
All right, so he needs a 10. The Japanese surfer now with 26 minutes remaining. Let's hear from Anon Matsuoka, who's going to have a chat with True, so have fun with this, True.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Anon, congratulations on winning the 27th Siargao International Surfing Cup. 3,000 points, adding to your already pretty dominant lead.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy.
And out in that final, you were against Sky Brown, who has been ripping all event, but you just stayed composed. What was your game plan going into the heat?
Yeah, Sky Brown is same goofy footer and one of my favorite surfer. So, but I just focused to get good wave and then like little bit the heat game. Like that's why man-on-man. So I just little bit. You know, like that. Yeah, so yeah, I did it.
And you have a bunch of events as well. After this, Taiwan, then South Korea, and then off to Brazil for the ISA World Juniors. This is a great way to start off your run of events.
That's right. Yeah, it will be busy, but it will be fun, sure. So really, very excited and so happy to this win. And then yeah, just focus more than another event, so yeah, right.
Would you like to say anything to anyone at home watching in Japanese?
Okay. 優勝できました。応援ありがとうございます。ここクラウド9はすごいいいところで、去年は2番だったんですけど、今年は1番になれたので、他の QS イベントもこの後続く台湾、コリアも頑張ります。応援よろしくお願いします。Okay.
Thank you so much, Anon. 17 years old, taking out this QS 3000 here in Siargao Cloud 9. Back to you guys for what looks like it's an amazing final so far.
Sat at a 3.1, so yet to really fire a shot, convincing shot is Joe Azuchi. But geez, the king of the peak out here at Cloud 9, John Mark Tokong, has already whipped up a 13.75 two-wave total, Justin. So he's starting to feel it.
Yeah, I agree. Left it to the last 30 seconds in the semi-final, and I don't think he wanted to repeat the nerves and the pressure that put on his heartstrings, because that was a clutch performance. And yeah, right now looking pretty with a 7.5 and a 6.25 on his way potentially to becoming the most winning surfer ever here at Cloud 9, I believe.
Well, I think he already is. I think he has 3 wins, and I think Peso Alcala has 2.
Okay, right. I thought he had 3.
Well, we did hear some 3s. I did hear some 2s. So anyway, Joe Azuchi wants to be a winner, and with turns like that, you can see him getting himself back in the conversation. That was his best manoeuvre so far in this final. Unfortunately, the wave died off real quick after that hit.
Yeah, we can see he's stepping it up. He has to, and with 23.5 minutes on the clock, definitely his best wave. A really critical first manoeuvre, but this guy got him on a string at the moment. Marimar, he's going to take to the sky. Pumping.
Oops. He got the rotation. His board went the other way.
Yeah, was going for the alley-oop, but just mistimed that section. But his clear intent is to now improve on the 6.25 to extend on first place. We do have a score awaiting the red column, so Joe Azuchi currently holding a 3.75 and a 3.10. There we go. A 4.5 has just locked in for red. his requirement now a 9.25, so still a really big number required.
Well, I think Joe's surfing himself into form here. This turn was brilliant. Boom. Look how much rotation and how tight that was, and board above the lip. Taking a big risk. He's realising that he's up against this young man and had to do something a little better. So he really went for it, Joe. And I would have loved to see what would have happened have he had a second section on that wave.
Yeah, me too. So, like you said, surfing into form. The Japanese surfers have been on fire here at Cloud 9. So impressed with their performances right throughout the event. And these are the best two men. Jawazuchi from Japan in the red, and the local hero, John Mark Takong. Marama, as he's known, is leading right now, just under 22 minutes, so a long time still to go. But Mark, it's been a super exciting event.
Well, it's been a lot of good things made. I can really see a lot of good things happening in the Asian region. High quality Team Japan surfers. John Mark in the final here. So let's just stay with Joe. Tidy swack. He's just not getting those runners. Sooner rather than later, I can see Joe connecting with the right sort of wave. I think that's just been a bit of his nemesis right now. He's put together 8 rides. It's a 3.15 throwaway number right there. So Joe just needs a little bit more wave face. And Marimar was just making sure he took this thing.
Yeah, well, his turns are super sharp. He's swinging the samurai sword through, but he just needs, like you said, Mark, just that slightly longer running wave to allow him to do multiple manoeuvres.
Yeah, he's brilliant, and he's shown us that on his 4.5. Super impressive manoeuvre. Just needs a bit more wave face, and we know he's got an air game as well, Juddo. I'm still sensing more in the tank from the entertainer, John Mark Tokong. He will step it up right when the crowd are demanding it.
Yep.
So we're well set here, everybody. I reckon do not go anywhere. 20 minutes. Let's pay some homage to the back end of the 27th Siargao International Surfing Cup. These two finalists have earned their positions out here well and truly. The stage is set. We've got one surfer that's got 2 really good rides and one surfer that is playing catch up. So Joe needs a 9.25, but the 13.75 is a slightly more readable or easier number to get your head around. A couple of the 7s is what Joe should be trying to work on right now.
100% right. So you look at the total, just under 14 points, and you break that down, 2 7s, and he's right back in this event. So I don't think Marimar's going to take a foot off the pedal, because he has really started this final with clear intent. He wants to walk away as the champion, go back-to-back here if he possibly can. And I think this guy deserves a spot on the Challenger Series in 2024. He's such an exciting surfer, and I'm sure he's learned a lot from this year's campaign.
True Starling is just back. How was the vibe?
Tell you what, there's a lot going on there. It's a lot of energy. There's a lot of screaming, a lot of cheers.
A lot of selfies.
A lot of selfies. Yeah, a lot of people down there, and yeah, on that boardwalk, it's great. It's hot. Yeah, it's really hot. I needed to have a minute just before. I was like, whoa. Well, I need water. But yeah, no, it's great. Everyone is cheering for Marimar and Joe as well. And you know, the waves look fun. It's like, it looks beautiful on screen, but I tell you what, it doesn't do it justice with how pretty it is out there.
Yeah. Great part of the world. You can see the little pan away there, everybody. That's what we wake up to every morning and get out here and have a look at. That's what the competitors see when they look in, and beautiful backdrop, big famous Cloud 9 tower right there, and this region. Particularly when a typhoon gets a little closer and we get swell off a typhoon, you guys, trust me, there's like 20 really good surf spots, and lots of options up or down the coast as well. So there's a lot to like here. A lot of great accommodation and restaurants, etc. So here goes Joe.
Yeah, Japanese surfer in the red, up and riding.
Oh.
Unleashes a nice down carve, but again, just the wave selection. Hasn't found a wave that's offered him multiple opportunities to unleash his vicious forehand attack. So I think Joe just has to, you know, look for those waves, some of those wider ones perhaps, but clean, green, beautiful face to work with, but just the one manoeuvre.
That got a bit weird on him too, so you could see his body language. He just went, nah, straight out of here. You know, and then they're the differences that the judges, you know, at this level, you've got excellent surfers all over the place, and you're judging a 3,000 point professional event. So the judges look for those little indiscretions and those minor little moments where things get a bit weird. And at this level, that doesn't cut it.
Yep.
Joe realises that, and out he goes.
Exactly right. So pretty much at the halfway point of this heat, 17.5 minutes. It's approaching 10:30 a.m. local time, and conditions are glossy out there. We've seen some nice tubes from Marimar. He knows this reef like the back of his hand, and he is really, I think, the poster boy for Philippine surfing moving forward. And there is a lot of really talented, you know, guys and girls nipping at his heels, hoping to join him on that Challenger Series next year.
Well, we've said it before, and I'll say it again. He's like the Rio Wider of Indonesia. He's dragging the nation up on his shoulders, and the first surfer out of the Philippines to get onto the Challenger Series. Philippines have a lot of natural talent going on in their young surfers and the waves to produce excellent surfers, and John Mark's showing them the pathway. He'll be looking for a couple of teammates to get up and run with him, and I can see that happening in the future.
Oh, I agree. I think it's really important to have your little posse, your little crew that you travel with, and I know Marimar is you know, certainly going to be a threat over the next couple of events. This is obviously the first of 3 back-to-back events that happens in this Asian region. Following this, a QS 5000 in Taiwan, and then over to South Korea to compete in the chlorine, which is always an exciting option, showing the progression and the future of where our sport is going. So, True, have you ever competed in a wave pool before?
I have, actually, yeah. There was a QS 1000 in the Urban Surf at Melbourne last year, or maybe this year? Last year? I don't know, at some point, yeah. Last year, I think, and yeah, it was great. It was so fun. They had the women on the right and then the men's on the left. So it was cool. I remember I did a couple of commentary stuff just to fill in to help some people. So it was great. I was running back and forth in between heats, and then by the end of it, I was like, "Hey guys, I need to just chill." But it was great. It was probably the most stressful heat I've ever had, because you know the wave is coming and it's like literally up to you to just do the surfing.
You can't blame anything.
No, you can't.
No seaweed around the leg rope.
Nothing.
Someone got in my way.
Yeah, it's you know, it's you. It's your job. And it was cool. It kept everyone honest, and as soon as the wave came, all that nerves kind of dissipated, and you click into gear.
How different is the feel of the wave compared to riding an ocean wave?
So different. Yeah, so different. You're a little bit more buoyant in the pool.
So do you have to down leader on your surfboard? So you have a special board to take to a pool? Is that how it works?
I just took my normal boards. I was riding, I think, just a swallowtail PU, and it was going really fun. I actually have an epoxy that I brought that Luke, my shaper, pushed out nice and quickly for me, so thank you. And I'll probably be riding that in the wave pool over in Korea. Just because, you know, you can get away with it. You've got to keep up with the waves, so you've got to be really fast and whippy and springy. But yeah, it's super fun. I was lucky enough to surf the wave pool over in Yeppoon, the plunge pool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is really cool. But urban surf is great, and I'm looking forward to the Korea event too.
Boys are moving around here now. Someone spotted something. So Joe with second priority. Marimar lets him have this wave, and you can see why. Joe's body language wasn't into it. John's like, righto, if you want that, all yours, buddy. All yours. So John's playing quite a relaxed game here at the moment. He can hear probably the requirement by Joe that, you know, a 9.25 is not good reading for Joe, but I'm sure that's kind of soothing for John Mark, who has the 2 best scores of this matchup, and the defending champ, you know, and just the king of Cloud 9. So all things are in his corner, steering towards a big moment.
Yeah. Well, 13 minutes, a lot can change very quickly in surfing events, we know that, but absolutely stoked with the finals day we've got on offer, and it looks like more Marima had a little look at it, decided not to go, lets Azuchi go, and that's a beautiful first turn up and over that section. This is the wave he's been looking for, and it gives him multiple opportunities. This is his 4th turn.
Marimar still watching as well. Joe waves to the crowd.
Yep.
Marimar looks over his shoulder and probably thinks, saw 4 lots of spray fly around there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Joe's best wave.
100% his best wave. And True, do you want to talk us through the replay?
Yeah, I liked it. Nice, solid first turn and rips it around for that second one. Gets a vertical section here, so we haven't seen that too often. And then, just brings it around, and I love that. That's my favourite part of the whole wave. I love how he's like challenging the judges, going, come on, like,
give me some love.
Give me something, So Joe, again, like Anon, very soft-spoken, really humble.
Yeah.
But as soon as they put the rashi on, fiercest competitors you'll get in the water. So for them to show that passion, it is, it's pretty cool.
Numbers in, Jado, did they give him some love?
They did, a 5.50, so his best. It does lower the requirement to an 8.25 to move into first. So 5.5. Still a little bit of breathing space between blue, your current heat leader, and red. And here goes Marimar. He was waiting for this wave. And flirting with the tube a little bit, but that was a vicious maneuver. I reckon he's going to punt here. Sort of a nice tag on the end, but...
and look at the crowd going nuts on the tower, man.
Oh, gosh.
You can see just, what Marimar brings to this event. He's a huge deal out here. We've been saying it all week. And you can see what we're talking about, team. He's highly regarded around here. He's the hero of Cloud 9, and here he is. Look at the waves he picks. He finds that he just lives in the green room.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you said it right. He flirted with the barrel a little bit. He didn't really get properly covered up, but it's still a really good wave for Marimar.
That'd be the wave of the trip for me.
Yeah.
Pack your bags and call it a trip after that.
I'd be coming straight in to look at the video replay. No, I can see an extension on the lead here. It was still a really well-surfed wave. He didn't punt. He played the game. Whoa, Azuchi! This happened during the replay, folks. A little weird on the manoeuvre, but a sick, deep drainer. He found a gem.
Yep, that was, he got it with Marimar on the inside. So obviously now having control of priority. Here it is. He completely disappears for a moment there, and unfortunately just couldn't get a manoeuvre there. But
he's again.
He is up and riding. So this final is certainly coming to life. Azuchi's starting to hit his straps.
He is, and he's trying everything in the book here. He's ridden a whole lot of waves. He surfed himself off our page. So let's see. What's that now? Wave number 12. Here it is again.
Oh, that was nice.
He's really got a great top turn on him, doesn't he?
He does.
Always adds a bit of spice and a little bit of variety in his moves.
Well, Marimar's last wave of 4.9 didn't go into the top 2.
Okay, the judges didn't really love it that much. I'll take that back about increasing his lead. Sorry, guys. But Joe Azuchi is sort of creeping into form here. He's just ever so slightly playing catch-up. What's that there, Jado?
That's a 5.45, so just underneath his last scoring wave. So he's hit the double digits, and it looks like he's got another score still to drop. So the 5.45 might have been for the tube ride.
Okay,
and
he's
then
got his turn wave still to come.
He does, so indication looks like it won't go into his top 2, a 4.40. So right now, under 9 minutes, Joe Azuchi has definitely sprung to life. He's caught 13 waves, a 5.5 and a 5.45 are his numbers. The requirement for the lead is an 8.25, but he's definitely now sort of starting to sync with the ocean a little bit better, I think. And but those opening couple of numbers for Marimar are definitely going to be hard to beat.
So the judges are clearly asking Joe Azuchi for more. I think he's got to read into these numbers and go, okay, I've probably got a boost here.
Yep.
His turns are insane, but he probably needs to do an insane turn with a ramp or an air somewhere on the same wave because he's doing really good stuff, but 2 really good things or 3 really good things aren't connecting on the same wave.
Yeah, good breakdown. Good breakdown. 8 minutes remaining. And he's on the move now. Spotted something he likes. And, wow, straight behind the barrel, but that one just runs away down the reef a little bit too quickly. But how quick was he to his feet and into that pocket?
He's leaving no stone unturned right here, Joe. He's digging really deep into his contest bag of tricks. He's throwing everything at Marimar, who just keeps counter-punching and deflecting his attack. But Marimar also, clear advantage, knows his place, could probably pick up a perfect set wave blindfolded, just go by feel. And that's the difference, is he's just slotting into better waves at random. When he's got priority, he's prepared to just, bide his time and wait for the perfect slot.
I didn't get to see the 7.5, so what did he do?
Well, huge air, wasn't it?
The 7.5 was the big air. The 6.25 was a nice tube, but if we get a little bit of downtime, I'm sure our production team right on cue.
True, just for you.
Thank you, guys. You spoiled me. Oh, wow.
And a really nice slap here as well. Boom.
6.25?
Yep, and a little wrap around here as well.
That was nice.
And then he got another wave earlier. Oh, Azuchi just going nuts. He's now starting to take to his air game, because I think he's realised, it's going to take something special to get a big number now off the judges. He's throwing everything else at the judges. He's now bringing his air game. He's got 6 minutes 20 to stomp an 8.25, and we did see an 8.25 thrown the other day for a huge air just yesterday.
Yep, we did. So it's almost like he's got an earpiece in. He can hear you coaching him, and he said he had to step it up, and he's doing just that. And here's a little bump. Marimar doesn't like it. Joe goes just a bit late, and
how many waves is that now? Is that 15?
I think that is his 15th wave. So he's caught a wave every 2 minutes thus far in this final. Under 6 minutes. And right now, all Marimar's got to do is sort of just sit and just wait for another good opportunity to improve on his scoreline. This is the 27th Siargao International Surfing Cup. We've got just so many really cool moments from this event, but a lot of them have come in this final for me, for John Mark Takong.
Some big moments, a lot of good tube rides. We haven't actually seen the absolute best of Cloud 9, but through this week it is a highly contestable wave. I'm sure everybody that comes here, has come here for this 3,000, will come back next year, particularly if it's going to be a 5,000, because everybody wants to get it on.
Yep.
And dead set pumping, and they've had a little teaser taste of it this week, but on the scheme of things, that's still enough to warrant a really worthy event.
Well, look at this. This looks like something starting to stand up and draw off the reef.
Blue's in the chute. Here he goes. This wave is going to barrel, and guess who's in it? John Mark Takong. A nice deep drain. He goes the bonus tube. Yes, we saw that, and I reckon he's just nailed the win with that number. That was pretty sick.
That was so cool. That was like a proper drainer.
Longest tube of the week.
I think so.
Wow.
What do you reckon, True? You reckon that was the best barrel you've seen this week?
Yeah, huge fan. Loved it. Let's have a look at the replay. Slides straight in, and then you think he's done, but he goes in for more, and yeah, he's like, what more do you want me to do?
I don't know.
Yeah, I liked it. Huge fan of that from Omar. You could hear everyone cheering on the beach, on the tower, over near Shaka.
He knew this was going to have the bonus section as well. Perfect read on both sections.
As soon as he started paddling, I was like, well, something big's going to happen here. 8.75 straight away.
You know what I really loved about that was how he stalled so hard, and then went from brake to accelerator to speed through that second section. That was just a great read and great tube riding prowess from
Joe needs 2 waves right now in 3.5 minutes. 16.25 total is what the champs put together. Here he goes again, a little inside right here. There's going to be a punch, surely. Whoops.
Oh, my.
Watch your fins. Watch your fins.
He, honestly, Marimar just, any section, he'll try a punt. And it's the best thing ever. I remember watching him surfing at Narrabeen, and any section, even if it was like a carved section, he'd just try and do it there. And I remember saying to him at one point, he was surfing out at car parks, and it was proper, like it was closing out, and he went out there and was doing airs. And I said, Marama, you know the event starts in 2 days.
Yeah, don't hurt yourself.
That is an ankle breaking section, so maybe maybe not. And he's like, I know, but it's just so fun. And I think that describes Marama as a surfer. Fun, you know, he's exciting. You never know what you're going to get. And I think that's why everyone just loves watching him so much.
Well, a very dominant performance thus far. 2.5 minutes remaining. He has put Joe Azuchi back into a combination situation. And here it is from the drone angle. This is going to be so cool. You can just see a little glimpse of the blue, but...
the cool little no-claim claim.
Yeah, just asking the question, and I love the score, an 8.75. A couple of judges going high as a 9. So
you know what I think? I think this is his best 2-wave total over the whole week.
I think you might be right, Mark. I think he has put it together right where it matters most in the final of his home event. And, yep, we've said it all event long. You don't want to peak too early, and I think he has definitely strung it together when it matters most.
And even throwing away a 6.25, you can see he's had a clear run of the lineup. I really like the way Joe surfed this heat. He hasn't sat there and just, you know, drifted off into oblivion. He's throwing everything at him. And the fact that he's up against such a rampaging Jean-Marc Tocong, I think, you know, most top surfers in the world that come here up against John are going to have their hands full.
Oh, you're so right. Approaching the final minute, and well, I think we can guarantee who our champion's going to be. But
yeah, that's a no-brainer right now. I think General Luna is going to get turned upside down tonight at the closing ceremony.
It was Halloween last night. I think it's going to be an even bigger party here tonight.
It's going to be a hell of a night tonight, mate. Woo! All right, the locals are already partying on the boardwalk.
We can hear them from here.
Tandawai rum is being sought after. Here we go, Joe. It's a little sign-off wave here for Joe Azuchi. He's, you know, it's no disgrace at all to lose to someone like Jean-Marc Tocong on his home soil, especially when he's in this sort of rare form. So, Joe, I'm going to applaud you and say, you know, most entertaining final, 16 or 17 waves. He tried pretty much everything in the book, but... when you're up against Jean-Marc, the book needs a new chapter.
Yep, I think we're onto a really big evening here.
And he's got another wave here, Joe.
Go victory lap, here he goes. This is your champion.
Oh,
no.
Wow. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Well done. He has been able to absolutely dominate this final, and there's some great sportsmanship as well. You got to love that to see. He's gone back-to-back here at his home event. The Siargao International Surfing Cup champion is Jean-Marc Tocong. Mark, are you going to try and race out there?
I
And,
might need a security guard to try and get me out through the boardwalk at the moment. It's going to be hectic. Well, I might swim out there.
Well, look at them all. They're all out there meeting him in the water. And this is going to take quite some time. I think you got probably the best part of 10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe, if he's got to hug all these crew as he's making his way in.
Well, that was good fun, Justin. I'm going to shake your hand and say thanks for a great week. True, thank you as well.
Thank
Jesse,
you.
we miss you.
Awesome job.
Jesse, we miss you here as well,
Yes.
but it's all about Jean-Marc Tocong, so I'll go out there and have a quick couple of words with the champ, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it, Mark.
All right, throw to a break.
Everyone guessing and wondering in that semi-final who's going to get through, got through in typical Marama fashion, and then absolutely owned Cloud 9 in that 9 minutes of that entire heat. children of the light, keeping the whole fires burning bright. We'll make them see that this is our time. We got the love, we're gonna let it shine. Bright enough to push back the dark, a fire raging from the smallest spark. Hold us up and we'll do something that will change the world. We lit the fire. We'll turn the shadow to light. We lit the fire. Now watch it light up the night. We lit the fire. So we'll hope to return. We lit the fire. Now we're gonna watch it burn. Burn, 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 burn. We brought fire and we brought rain. Held the embers and fanned the flame. Held them up so the world could see what our power could truly be. We're born ready, always saying, ain't no holding back. We lit the fire. We'll turn the shadow to light. We lit the fire. Now watch it light up the night. We lit the fire. So we'll hope to return. We lit the fire. Now we're gonna watch it burn. Burn, 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 burn. We lit the fire. We'll turn the shadow to light. We lit the fire. Now watch it light up the night. We lit the fire. So we'll hope to return. We lit the fire. Now we're gonna watch it burn. Burn, 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 burn. Hold your breath, the lights down low. Your foot on my dash, your hands are ice cold. But you can let it all go. So pack your bags and grab your coat. No time to think and everywhere to go.
Well, that has to be one of the greatest celebrations post-event I've ever seen. It was like half the community was out there splashing and cheering that man, John Mark Takong, across the reef. True Starling, what a memorable moment for that man.
Absolutely. Winning this event again here for Marama, having his daughter watching him as well is just, it would be so special. I mean, he put on such a great performance, an 8.75 and a 7.5. He was looking pretty unstoppable throughout the whole event.
This is the 7.50. Massive.
Oh.
I think that was the 7.75 from his semi-final. That was the buzzer beater. And this is maybe the this was the 8.75. So that was the real turning point. He'd already had the, sort of the nails in the coffin, but that one absolutely slammed it shut. And it is rush hour out there on the boardwalk right now. You can just see everyone congratulating the people's champion of the Philippines. And more cameras in your face than you know what to do with. And he's hopefully going to make his way to our co-commentator Mark Clift, who's going to speak with the 2023 Siargao International Surfing Cup champion, John Mark Takong, Marama as he's known around these parts. He's gone back-to-back, which is an amazing effort.
Yep. Absolutely. He's just looking so on point. He looks like he's in his element here. He's happy. You know, his smile is bigger than ever. So happy Marima is a happy Siargao, I'd say.
Yep. I couldn't agree more. And he is getting paid in the hugs right now. So many people congratulating him. And I think he's just such a deserving winner, you know, just so humble, so polite.
Yep. That was Tenchi Iwami there, just giving him a big hug, congratulating him. Sarah Wakita there as well.
Well, I think we're going to throw down to Mark Clift, who has our event champion, Marimar, down there with him.
Well, I do have the champ back-to-back, Marimar. What a day. Tell us exactly how you're feeling right now.
Oh, man, like my feeling right now, I don't know. I can't really tell about it, but I'm so stoked to win again this year. You know, like last year I won the event, and then I'm so grateful to get back to back. So yeah, like right now, like it's so crowded. Like all my family is here and cheering my friend, and yeah, thanks also to the board that I'm using now from Japan. It's kickoff surfboard. So yeah, it's so good. Yeah. Feel so confident during the final, and with Joe, like such a good surfer too. And but during the heat, I was just like, okay, just focus my plan and just focus to myself and just get some wides. Make sure just don't do the same mistake.
Well, a huge increase in your ranking coming, man. 3,000 points alongside your ranking, and the tag as winningest surfer ever out here at Cloud9. Another great finals day went to perfection for you.
Oh, so stoked about that, really. To be honest, I'm so happy right now. And yeah, like my goal, because I got qualified for a challenger this year. So my goal again, I'm gonna you know, get qualified again next year, hopefully, and yeah, just save more points. Finger crossed. After here, I'm gonna go to Taiwan to hopefully I can get some more points there. So yeah, to get qualified for Challenger Series next year.
Let's talk about tonight. You're pulling the dancing shoes on, John.
Oh no!
Come on.
Hey, okay. Yeah, for sure. My family, they're actually like waiting to go, you know, to go have fun with me, like have fun with all the friends, drinking, of course, but yeah, I haven't been drinking for a long time, so because I've been focusing on my, you know, my goal, let's say like on the world tour. Yeah, so I've been like focusing what I can do better in like observing other athletes too and how they surf, you know, so I can progress myself.
Well, I reckon it's lucky the elections were run on Monday, because if it was today, I think I know who would win.
Oh yes, I'm so grateful because that day we never know what's gonna happen.
All right, what about you crew here? Everybody make a huge amount of a noise for the winner, John Mark Tokong. Let's go, boys! Woo-hoo! Oh, back to you guys. Things have officially gone crazy out here on the boardwalk.
Thanks, Mark. And, yep, just getting showered there. An excellent end to an amazing event. True Starling. I think that was a really cool interview, you know. Focused and in form is that man on screen, Marimar. So, very cool.
Yeah, he just looked on point for this whole event. You know, a very well-deserving win. It's amazing that he has his family by his side and his friends as well. So, you know, Marima can let loose a little bit tonight and then refocus for Taiwan. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can bring there.
Yep, 100% right. Well, that's it. We've been here for 7 days. It has been an amazing 27th edition of the Siargao International Surfing Cup. And then Anan Matsuoka from Japan has taken out the women's, and John Mark Tokong Marimar has just taken out the men's event here at the WSL QS 3000. My name's Justin Majex. We've had an amazing team of staff behind the scenes, in front of the camera, on the tower. So to all of our judges, officials, work crew, a big thank you from all of us. It's been an amazing event, and we can't wait to see you in Taiwan in a couple of days' time. Cheers for all your support, and we'll see you soon.
You know we reppin' the million crowns, getting them loud, taking their clout, so one day I can buy a house. Sabe que nadie no puede parar, somos la reina y se enamora. Ven a mi cama, te vas a botar de lo que te va a hacer. They say there's something in the stuff we're drinking. You crawling on your hands and knees. your head's still spinning. Te veo corriendo aquí, corriendo pa' acá.